It's time for a grand finale. We have gone through 16 previous videos and crowned winners of states and regions. We have all 16 of those winners, plus 4 additional wildcard, the best of the rest. And you can go and see all those teams in the description because it's going to take too long to read them out. But I had to do some stuff to make this one a little bit different because I wanted to put all these teams on level playing fields and make them as equal as possible. So you can kind of see here, even though it says on paper Charlotte's like a 78 overall, trust me when I tell you this is not a 78 overall team. It's just kind of a visual thing. So every team is like an 85 plus overall, and I made sure that they were all 3.5 stars or better, and everyone is going to get a fair opportunity. No one's going to have to build themselves from the ground up. Everyone is here for a reason. Everyone got to this point for a reason. They won their respective regions. They won a national championship. I'm not going to make them go and build themselves all the way back up. These are the winners. Once you get in the dance, anyone has a chance to win it all. And we start off with year one, where our conference championship is going to be Tennessee and Oregon, as Tennessee is getting brought down. Every one of these teams basically started off in the top 25, so like I said, everyone had the opportunity, and because of that, there's going to be a lot of playoff appearances. It's going to be a longer video. I did my best to try to make it go by a little bit faster, even though you can kind of see the time at the bottom. It is a longer video, even more long than videos that I typically do, but trust me, it does move faster than other ones, as we have Oregon getting sacked here. Oregon may have a 7-point lead, but Tennessee has the football in great field position after that short punt, and now at the 32-yard line after one 8-yard run. They're going to find themselves getting stopped in the backfield. Loss of 3 as Tennessee to throw it. He's going to get hit as he's throwing, but it's going to be caught. And Oregon, this is a team that's been basically a constant thorn in the side of any single opponent we have seen in any one of these 16 previous videos. They have ended national title hopes and dreams. They have won national titles themselves in their own video and stolen them from other teams, but Tennessee is not looking to be one of them, as they're trying to punch their ticket to that first round bye, tying the game up with the rushing touchdown. And now with under 2 minutes to play, Oregon has a 2-yard gain, but it's 3rd down and 8, as they're going to throw an open man, and he's going to go past the 50, past the 40, and to the 31-yard line. Oregon set up for a potential game-winning field goal try, especially when their run game is allowing them to grind out more and more yardage, as there's another handoff, stiff arm to the edge, but that's going to be stopped in the backfield. Tennessee needs to get off the field here to have a chance, and they will. Oregon is going to get a short field goal. It is good, but Tennessee has 48 seconds to play, needing 90 yards if they want to win it in regulation, as he's breaking out of 1 sack, but not 2. 2 other guys swarm him. They lost a lot of time on that one. 3rd and 14, under 30 seconds to play. Over the middle at the first down. No timeout, so got to hurry it back, and that's going to lead them to having to spike the ball, losing time. Last play of the game, Hail Mary, is going to be incomplete, and Tennessee goes down. Oregon wins the first conference championship. We also see Charlotte, UTSA, and others in the playoffs. Tennessee will keep it with them as they are taking on Texas A&M in the playoffs. They are at home in this one, as it is a 9-3 Texas A&M team, but Tennessee has a 3-point lead. A&M with the football, throwing it deep. That's knocked away. 4th down. They're punting as Tennessee takes it over. Again, starting in great field position with 1 run, they find themselves in enemy territory as they hand it off for another first down to the 30-yard line, and aiming to tack onto that lead. But can they get into the end zone to make it a 2-score game and make it a pretty tough one for A&M to overcome, as Tennessee middle incomplete. They're going to have to settle for the field goal try, as the kick is going to be through the uprights. Good. A&M down by 6 with 4 minutes to play, so plenty of time for them to try to get this ball into the end zone, as it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 41-yard line. Middle, that's going to be caught, and a short gain, 3rd down and 3, as they hand it up right up the middle, and he stopped 4th and inches. You got to go for it here, but they're going to toss it out wide, but the juke move gets him to the edge, and there goes A&M past the 30 inside the red zone, and now down all the way to the 4-yard line. What a move! It went from a disastrous loss to turn the football over to a play that sets them up in goal to go, but the run game isn't succeeding this time around. 3rd and goal from 5 yards out, as they are going to throw to the outside. It's going to be caught, but down to the 1. 4th and goal with under a minute to play. Here's the game right here. He's got it. Touchdown off the play action of the tight end. And now Tennessee down by 1 with 40 seconds to play. And they got one timeout now in their back pocket after getting to the 33-yard line. And there you go with a nice play. And close to midfield. 34 seconds. Now they're out of timeouts. So they're going to throw one up for a completed pass into field goal range. And Tennessee is going to throw the screen to get themselves even a little bit closer. But it's going to result in a field goal try through the uprights. And Tennessee wins themselves a playoff game. Now we jump over to USC, who's in a bit of a battle right now against Ohio. This is prime upset alert. You would think USC versus Ohio on paper is all USC, but down by 2 scores. It's going to be USC trying to rally late in this one as they get it all the way down inside the 5 handoff. Hit the edge, wide open lane for the touchdown, and now it's 30-27. Ohio, though, trying to hang on. As look at that draw play. It's going to get them 6. Looked like he was going to get stopped in the backfield, but you still need to convert here as they will not do that. Pass gets broken up and USC takes over, and they are already in great field position. These punters in college football so far have not been doing their jobs very well, but USC has got themselves inside the 30 with under 2 to play as they're going to throw to the flats, get it for the first down. Can't get out of bounds, but you still got plenty of time to at least tie this game up. You're already in field goal range, and now you're finding yourselves inside the 14-yard line. Minute 12 to go as they go play action outside. Open man, he's inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line, 1 yard away from pulling off the victory, and they're gonna have a screen that gets stopped. Loss of 8, are you kidding me? And now throw with 40 seconds to play, it's intercepted, and USC did not just choke that one away. From the 1-yard line to an interception, they go down to Ohio in our first year, so a big upset. We moved to Charlotte and UTSA as these were 2 of the more underdog teams that ended up coming out of their state and ended up here in the finals. Charlotte winning one of the more improbable national titles that we have seen, and UTSA having some of the best development that we had ever seen in the Texas video, and now they're squaring off here. Round 1 of the playoffs. Things will be moving fast and opportunities will be scarce with this many talented teams in the playoffs, so you have to capitalize when you get a chance, and Charlotte picking up a fumble there is going to be exactly what we're talking about. UTSA needing to stop them, and now down by 1, you let Charlotte's quarterback scramble for that first down, and now they're in field goal range as you went from in enemy territory to potentially taking the lead there, and you turn it over. Now Charlotte can tack on more points as with 3.5 to go, they're winding down this clock. They got themselves a completion on 3rd down. Not gonna be a first, but they're going for it on 4th and 2, and what a call! Touchdown! Still a 1-score game, but that was bold, and it works out, but now another fumble! Are you kidding me? UTSA puts it on the ground again, and he gets stiff-armed by a D-lineman. Scoop and score, touchdown! And Charlotte has turned things completely upside down in this one as UTSA, what a grab there. I don't know how much is really going to matter, though, as they're inside the 10. That's going to be a touchdown to cut it to a 1-score game, but the onside kick is going to be what it's ultimately down to, and Charlotte scoops it up. And they go from an unlikely national champion in their video to a playoff winner in year 1 of this one. As Georgia, look at how they were starting here in the 2nd round. Georgia, that's going to be 77 yards. Touchdown to take the lead. And let me know how you feel about the pacing of this video. Like I said, we got a lot to get through, so it's moving a little bit faster. And if you like this level of pacing, if you like things going a little bit faster, then you can let me know, and we'll maybe implement that for future videos. But we got 3rd down and 1 here as he's getting stopped in the backfield. Loss of 1, they punted away. Still 6 minutes to play, so they trust their defense. But after allowing that long touchdown run, maybe you shouldn't trust them that much as the quarterback scrambles for a gain of 9. Georgia at the 49-yard line. He's stepping up and throwing a dart for the sidelines into the 26-yard line. Now 2nd down and 6. He's going to tuck and run again inside the red zone, inside the 10, sliding to the 7-yard line. 4 minutes to play. Chance at the 2-score lead, and he's got it. That's going to be Georgia up by 2 scores now. And there's Tennessee just in desperation mode. A sack there. 3rd down and 8, needing something, and it's incomplete. 4th down and 8. This could basically be your game here as he's going to throw it down the field. He's got it, and maybe we're not done yet. Tennessee trying to be the first team to get to a national title in this video, as I expect to see at least some national championship appearances. And who's going to be the first team to do it? It's Tennessee. Dart to the end zone, touchdown, and it's back to a one-score game. But with 2 minutes to play, Georgia can run out the clock here with a couple of first downs. Things get to a 3rd down and 3 at the 2-minute warning where they hand it off. Broken tackle, and he's got it. That's brutal. Now another first down will end it, and the read option is going to have a flag down. And this could really help Tennessee out. It will. Holding will back them up. And now Tennessee is going to have them in 2nd and 14 and stuff them. 3rd and 17. You're not going to get the first down here as Georgia had it, but the holding is going to result in them giving Tennessee one chance at it with the 23-yard line, and they immediately get a 26-yard gain. They got no timeouts but 45 seconds as they throw for a first down there. Get to stop the clock momentarily. 32-yard line. Can't afford too many other mistakes as they're going to throw over the middle. That's going to be called, but he puts the ball on the ground, and they're going to call it a fumble. It's Georgia scooping it up. I guess he had it just long enough for it to not be ruled an incomplete pass. It's going to be Georgia winning that one as Tennessee did everything that they needed to get in position to at least tie that game, and they let it slip away. So now we go ahead as Oregon is taking on Charlotte in the other 2nd round matchup we have here. Oregon won the conference championship, and Charlotte pulled up a big one against UTSA. It's a 2-point game as on 3rd down and long. Oregon taking a shot, but it gets broken up. Charlotte's going to get the football, but will it be with just a 2-point deficit? It will be. Long kick is missed. Oregon tried to go for the long kick, and it was no good. Charlotte, though, threatening to go 3 and out. 3rd down and 7. He's got it, and they will keep it moving. They're in long-distance field goal range to potentially take this lead. And what a story would be if Charlotte comes out here and goes further than anyone in year 1. 3rd down and 2. It's going to be a counter going left. He's got the first down, and we're going to be taking under 4 minutes to play in the red zone. Play action. He's going to try to tuck and run, but he runs right into the defense. 3rd down and 10 as they will go play action, and he's going to try to scramble again. He gets by, and he's got the first down, and the quarterback this time around makes the big play. Goal to go as at the 7. He's going to run it again, and he's got the touchdown. Can Charlotte pull this one off? 2:40 to play as Oregon's got a wide open tight end up the sidelines. And how about a big 30-yard gain to start things off? RPO, and that's a tight window throw for a first down there. 2-minute warning has hit as they're going to get sacked here. 2 defenders bring him down as it's going to be 3rd and 18. He's going middle. It's caught to set up 4th and 4. Obviously going for it here. Big play here, and it's going to be completed. Wide open man to the 21. And that was Charlotte's chance to win this one, but Oregon just keeps on coming back. They will not be denied. We've seen this so many times. A touchdown. Oregon with the lead. 2-point conversion is going to be intercepted, and unless Charlotte plans on taking that one back, they're going to need to go and get a scoring drive together, and they will be down by 1 point with 30 seconds to go, and that's a nice start there. You got 1 timeout left at the 29-yard line, and that's going to be a huge grab. He hung onto that one as they throw. Check down on the outside. That's going to be caught, and with 9 seconds to play, I don't think they're going to have time to get a playoff here as they used their last timeout already. 3, 2, he's making too many adjustments, and time runs out. It would have been just a Hail Mary try, but you had to at least just snap the ball, give it a try as Oregon in the semifinals, they blow through Texas Tech and go all the way to the national championship as it will be against Georgia. And in the conference of champions that we have put together, it's going to be Oregon making the national title in year 1. Flag is down on the first play. Georgia's up by 6 with the football, but a holding sets them back, and the run is going to get them all those yards back to 3rd and 1 as they will try to convert here, and they will. First down. Georgia now play action as they're in a good spot here with under 6 minutes to play. Another first down grab is going to get them to the 43-yard line. You've seen that Gunnar Stockton only has 78 yards passing on the day, but it hasn't seemed to matter because Georgia has got another first down, broken tackle, and there you go with another big play. And now you can go up by 2 scores with a field goal. Oregon just hasn't touched the football yet. Georgia's done an incredible job keeping this football away as a scramble's going to get them to the 15-yard line. We're all the way down to 2:20 to play, and Georgia over the middle, touchdown! And what a drive from Georgia. They take up so much of the fourth quarter, and immediately Oregon on their first play. It's a pick six. They get the football back, and KJ Bolden gets the pick six. Oregon drives down the field with under a minute to play to score a touchdown. Obviously, though, it's going to be a little too late for that to be any sort of impact. Georgia recovers the onside kick, and in year one, Georgia takes the national championship away from Oregon, and I feel like it might not be the last time we see Oregon in this, but like I said, with how stacked this conference is, you need to capitalize on your opportunities when you get them. When it comes to showing off draft classes, basically every single year, every team had like 1, 2, even more players drafted. So I'm only going to show you draft classes that have like 5 or more players, like big draft classes, just so I don't end up having to show you every single team's draft class. But you can see even the highlight classes that I'm showing you, like half a dozen teams went out here and got like 6+ players drafted. And with recruiting, you can see the absolute war that has unfolded in this conference. I mean, how about that majority of like the top 25, it feels like, is here. Every single team had a top 60 class except Charlotte, which that's going to be brutal for them. We go to year 2 where we see 4 11-1 teams and a 10-2 team in Ohio State. It's going to be LSU, North Dakota State in the conference championship, and just how quickly things change. Charlotte all the way down here at 4-8, and Tennessee, who was in the playoffs conference championship matchup, is all the way down to 6-6 as we start things off. LSU is going to have a big touchdown on the first play. How about an 85-yarder to kick things off as North Dakota State is going to still be down by just 1 score at 6 minutes to go. Well, they need to come and respond after that big touchdown from LSU as they are trying to run away with this one. As you know, North Dakota State was one of the 4 wild card teams here. This was the team that kind of like made me want to make the wild card thing because they were just too good to leave out. If you watched that video, North Dakota State and Minnesota, they were so dead even. I would have felt bad leaving either one of them out. So North Dakota State deserves to be here, and they are trying to come out on top of the Season 2 Conference Championship. They get a stop. They're going to get one more try at it. Minute 20 to go, and they got a completion out of the 38-yard line. 3rd down and 1 is going to be almost intercepted. Now last chance, 4th down and 1 as they're looking, they're throwing, and it's short of the receiver's feet. It was right there, wide open, and he missed it as the Heisman winner goes to LSU as well. So LSU having a statement year, conference championship, Heisman winner, and they'll be the number 1 seed first round bye. We stick with North Dakota State as they're taking on Ohio State in round 1 of the playoffs. Once again, another 4, 5+ teams in the playoffs from this conference. A lot of stuff to get through, like I said, as it's 17-16. Ohio State with the handoff. That's going to be with the first down, under 4 minutes to play already. It's been a low-scoring affair as these teams have been really going back and forth on defense, as the defense has another big play, a sack there. It's now 3rd and 13. They do have the lead, and they are going to play it safe. They're going to make them burn a timeout as North Dakota State now down by 1 with the football back, needing a long way to go, and they're going to have to even go a longer way after a 12-yard sack. As middle, they're going to get basically all the sack yardage back, but it's now 3rd and 10. Minute to play, 2 timeouts. He's getting chased. He cannot run him. That's a sack, and Ohio State 1 play away from shutting this one down, and the pressure gets in. It's incomplete. Ohio State with the win. We jump over to USC against Texas Tech. Both teams kind of got embarrassed last year in the playoffs. Texas Tech made it to the semifinals, got smashed by Oregon. USC, on the other hand, they made it to the playoffs and got stunned by Ohio, of all teams, and they're looking for a little bit of redemption here. 3rd down and 16 for Texas Tech as they're going to get stopped, and it'll be USC football back with a 1-point lead as they will throw. It's going to be caught, turning it upfield to the 39-yard line, the first down. 5.5 to play as they'll throw once more. Got a lot of protection as it's just a 3-man rush, and he's got a wide open man. Running back got free into the 22-yard line as they will throw one more time. Touchdown, USC. is going to make it an 8-point game. Texas Tech still not out of it quite yet, and now it might be out of it as an interception, and he's taking it all the way for a touchdown. And USC is up 39-24 as another shot added for Texas Tech is going to result in another interception. It was 4th and 13 anyway. You had to give it a try. USC with the victory. Now we jump over to Oregon. They're taking on Stanford. We've seen a lot of 12-seed magic go down the last couple of videos, including the last season with Ohio. Can some 12-seed magic knock out Oregon? Maybe not. Maybe Oregon's just a team. They're just too good for 12-seed magic to work against them, as Stanford needs to go down and score a touchdown. 4th down and 1, and they don't go for it. I know it was in their own territory, but come on, you're taking on Oregon. You need to go and make a big play. You need to go and take a risk, as now Oregon with the football back. It took a 1 play to get into scoring position, and now a run. Good move there. 1st down inside the red zone. Under 2 minutes to play, and that is perfect. Down to the 1-yard line with no timeouts left. They kneel the football out and win it. Oregon moves on. We'll stick with them, and things are looking a little bit dire for them this time around. How about down by 14 against Nebraska at the 10-yard line? Nebraska has a touchdown, and it's a 3-score game. Things are looking brutal for Oregon, but they're going to just try to fire back and claw themselves back into this game. Play all the way down inside the 10, as it's going to result in them getting sacked, but then throwing a touchdown on the very next play. 2-score game. They kick the onside. It's scooped up by Nebraska, and 35-21 being your score is going to make it real difficult for Oregon to come out on top of this one. They get the stop, but with just a minute to play, they got another big one. I mean, if Oregon pulls this one off, I don't even understand this team, as they got a dart over the middle. That's a touchdown. 1-score game, but you need the onside kick. It would be the most Oregon thing ever to do it, but they don't get it. And even still, you go down by 3 touchdowns and you only lose by 7, because Oregon, they are seemingly inevitable at times, but they go down there. It took a lot. It took Dylan Raiola putting up, a 3-score lead with like 2 minutes to play. We jump ahead to another game in the second round where it's USC versus Texas, 28-28, and Texas with the big 4th down conversion to the 25-yard line. Play action. Arch Manning's with the football in his hands, is going to deliver it inside the 10-yard line to the 7. As now 3rd and goal. They get the touchdown. Texas takes the lead. And you're going to have to respond here with the handoff. Broken tackle in the backfield, but he still loses 3. Defense swarmed that one. 3rd down and 12 as they're going to throw outside for completion, but not quite the first down. 4th and 2, they punted. And I don't know about giving Arch Manning the football back in a 7-point game. Just needing basically 2 first downs to end this, as on 3rd down and 8, they run it. And with the opportunity to get off the field, USC can't do it. How about another 3rd down with the game on the line? Manning delivers. 2 first down conversions on 3rd down is going to give them the win. LSU, meanwhile, steamrolls Kansas State 52-10. And we'll move on. We'll eventually get to see LSU play in the playoffs, as we will get to a game where it's Ohio State against Colorado, 10 versus 2. Ohio State trying to come out here and punch their ticket to a potential national championship appearance, but they still have a ways to go, especially when you're down by 3 to Colorado. You're in position to tie this game up in the red zone, as the handoff is going to get them inside the 5. 1st down and goal. To the 1-yard line they go, and that's going to be an Ohio State lead, as now Colorado takes over, down by 4, 4.5 to go. Tight end's got it. He's running through people. He breaks like 3 tackles and gets it about midfield. Now 3rd down and 1. Read option for the 1st down, and that was a little bit of a surprising play that caught him off guard there. 32-yard line, 3rd down and 3. That's broken up. 4th down and 3, going for a field goal. Not going to be enough, but they will get the 1st down. Huge there as it keeps things going. 3 minutes to go as they will get the screen all the way inside the 10-yard line to the 7. And Colorado putting together a great drive. How about a screen the other way? Lineman does their job. He puts somebody flat on their back, and that's a touchdown. Ohio State got 2 minutes to play, and they're immediately going to have a big one inside enemy territory. 34-yard gain, and in position to tie this game up with another 1st down, as that's going to be a swing outside for just a 2-yard gain. A minute to play. They have all their timeouts, though. 3rd and 8, though, and they're going to throw it down down the field, incomplete. You gotta go for it or kick a 60-yarder. They choose offense, and with that dart over the middle, it's gonna be the right choice. Touchdown, Ohio State, as they were looking for a first down, but they got a touchdown, and now Colorado intercepted. It's gonna be Ohio State taking it over, and with one more play, a dagger to win it. Ohio State moves on. Them and LSU are still alive here in the semifinals, and we could get them matching up in the national championship. But for Ohio State right now, it's looking a little rough. Against Texas, they're down by 10, but they got the football in scoring position. They can at least cut it down to a one-score game. That fumble almost just wrecked their chances. 3rd and 17. Can't take a sack, and he won't. You couldn't throw a pick either, and he should have. But that is going to be a field goal try. They escape. They're lucky to escape with 3 points on that drive to make it a one-score game. Texas now with the 7-point lead, trying to seal this one up, as they are going to have Arch Manning deliver a pass to midfield. 4:40 to play. A draw is going to be to the running back for a short game. Set up 3rd down and 6, where Manning's going to go to the air, and he's going to throw the curl. That's going to be incomplete. Big play by the defense. Ohio State with the opportunity to get this football back. They got 3.5 minutes to drive down the field. It would need to be an 81-yard drive. They've already found themselves at the 37-yard line. 2nd and inches. The read option is going to get them the first down. Now we go to about 2 minutes to play. Another read option on 3rd down and 1 is going to get them a first down. He stays on his feet. That was impressive. 2-minute warning now has hit. 40 yards away from the end zone. Right down the middle. Intercepted. Defender reaching out and snagging that one. And Ohio State national title hopes in trouble, as that's going to be a first down run. You can't allow another one like that, or it's all over. As 3rd down and 2, sweep it to the edge, and that's going to be the first down and more. That spin move was unnecessary. Ohio State is out, and all we have left is LSU. Texas is already on to the national championship, but their opponent is either LSU or Nebraska, and down by 7. LSU with a big read option to get them set up at the 41-yard line. Now another run. This time it's the running back, and he's going to have a chunk play, 17 yards to the 24-yard line, as they throw outside, caught, broken tackle inside the 10-yard line, and LSU in 3 plays has already found themselves in scoring position inside the 10, down to the 3-yard line, goal to go, handoff, broken tackle and into the end zone, tying things up. We could be in for a fun finish in this one. 5 minutes on the dot. LSU is going to watch Nebraska get themselves an 18-yard run. Now we tick under 4 to play. 3rd down and 6, and that's going to be a stop. LSU does a good job after that 18-yard run to stonewall them, but they immediately on the first play of the drive throw an interception, and Nebraska has all the momentum back as they're already in field goal range. Under 3 to play. 25-yard line as Raiola's getting sacked, and they're trying to prevent a Dylan Raiola versus Arch Manning national championship, and they sacked him again. Now it's a long kick, 54 yards. It is still good. At the 2-minute warning, it's going to be a 3-point game, and LSU gonna get sacked, and things are looking really dire for them now. 2nd and 17, but one play can change everything. He beat him, and it's 89 yards. Touchdown, LSU. And Nebraska can't believe it. We got a minute to go, and Raiola, do you got some Mahomes magic in you, or are you just an imposter? As it's 2nd and 8, and he's chucking one deep, one-on-one, and it's gonna be caught. They say he was in bounds, and that's gonna be an incredible play as Raiola, and zone, it's intercepted. LSU is gonna win it, and after the incredible grab, one that I don't even think he actually got in bounds. That would have been a controversial call if it went Nebraska's way at the end of that game. Raiola delivered a touchdown. We don't have to worry about that, I guess. LSU now has to take down a Manning who has got them inside the 10-yard line in just a few plays. 22-17 is your score. LSU gets a stop in the backfield, and they're going to try to hold them to a field goal here, but it's 3rd down. Manning from the 6. He's getting sacked. Now you're going to have to kick that field goal to make it a 2-point game. 6 minutes to play, still a lot of time to go, but LSU will get this football back. 2nd down and 4. Handoff will get them the first down, and nice moves to get into the 30-yard line. Now we jump ahead to the 40-yard line. We're 2nd and inches, and another handoff's going to get them the first down. Now they're at the 46-yard line. 4:30 to play. Bubble screen. He's got a lot of room, and he's got some speed up the sidelines of the 26-yard line, and LSU picture-perfect drive so far, as that's another first down grab to the 12-yard line. They're under 2.5 to play with the handoff inside the 5, down to the 1, goal to go. 2-minute warning. He's getting stopped in the backfield, but LSU has drained this clock down and got themselves all the way into the end zone. Touchdown! And LSU did it perfectly. Arch Manning doesn't touch the field again till a minute and a half to go, down by 2 scores. That's how you just isolate a great player and make him not even have an impact on the game, as Arch Manning has to force it, and it's an interception. LSU has got it all the way for a national championship in year 2. And just 2 years into this video, we've seen Oregon make a national championship and LSU win one, and you can kind of see what type of video we are in for with these teams in these conferences that we have put together. It's gonna be a star-studded video, and you could probably see why, even though that the pacing of the video has kind of picked up, it's gonna still be a long video, and we're going to have a real debate here of who's going to be the winner. I would be stunned if this was the only national championship we see. And we got a lot of teams set up in great positions to get themselves into that national title picture. As you could see, I mean, just about every team is up there in recruiting. And I mean, it was top 50, top half of the country. And you could see Charlotte. Every team has been 60th or better, basically. And then Charlotte has had 2 bad recruiting classes, especially by the standards of these guys. And you know, 2 recruiting classes like that, and you find yourself second to last in the conference, and things can change very quickly for you after a year 1 playoff win. In this year 3, it's going to be Ohio State versus Houston Christian, another wild card team. Houston Christian was one of the fan voted ones. They were one of the teams that I put in there as it was really close to call, and you guys voted for them to be in. They are here, and now they're in a conference championship in just year 3, so they're proven to maybe shake off that wild card status and being a true victor here. 4th down and inches. Ohio State got the completion and more than just a first down. They're inside the 10-yard line, looking to go up by 2 scores. It's going to be a sack here. This time the defense was swarming on that one. 2nd and goal from the 13. End zone, touchdown Ohio State, and they're up by 2 scores. Houston Christian, they may be 11-1, but things are looking real rough for them. They're going to be going to the playoffs regardless, but it might not be with the first round bye as they're getting sacked here. And that's going to set them back to 2nd and 17 as they're going to try to run, get some room, and that's going to be a pretty big run there. That's a first down and a lot more. Okay, I don't know where the defense was on that one, but they're inside the 25-yard line trying to make this a 1-score game. Defense with another sack. My goodness, they just can't protect as they're going to go wobbly ball. That's going to be incomplete. 4th and 16. This is probably your game here as they're going to sling one all the way to the end zone. It's incomplete, knocked away. Ohio State is going to come out with the victory there, and I accidentally was clicking through too fast, but you could see Ohio State takes home a Heisman Trophy winner as well. So 2 of the first 3 Heismans as well have also come from one of our teams in this video. As like I said, it's going to be just who can rack up all the awards. You could see all the draft picks that we have seen. I mean, if I were able to show you all the All-Americans and, you know, all the other details and stuff, this video would be like 5 hours long, but we ain't trying to do all that. So, you know, it's a lot, but the tally at the end of this video is going to be unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, how about UNLV with that touchdown grab to make it a 2-score game? Are they going to upset Houston Christian? More 12-seed magic going down here? I don't know what is going on with these 12 seeds. Like I said, these last 2 videos previously, 12 seeds were going nuts. I don't know if they made some sort of update to make 12 seeds a little bit more overpowered, but Houston Christian's not going down without a fight. A 72-yard touchdown to climb back into this one. Still plenty of time for Houston Christian to pull this one off as a first down run there. Gets them to the 31. Now we jump ahead, 3rd down and 3. They got an open man underneath. He's right at the line. They give him the first down. That was a close one, but they got it. As now 3rd down and 5 the other way. Houston Christian gets the stop this time around. Is on 3rd down for Houston Christian. They don't go 3 and out, so 3rd down plays being the key in this one as Houston Christian with a catch and run right to midfield, gain of 15, 1:48 to play, and a wide open man. No one was near him. 50-yard touchdown. And look who's got the lead. Houston Christian tacks on 2 more. And that's a 29-26 game with a minute and a half to play. UNLV with a fumble now, and Houston Christian picks it up. And this has been a disaster last couple of minutes for this UNLV team. Houston Christian down to the 2, and to lock it up, 2-score game the other way. They win it. And that was almost a scare for them, but they come out on top. Now we jump to James Madison making a playoff appearance here. They're taking on an 11-1 Rutgers team. It's 24-31. James Madison with the football in the snow as they're getting sacked. 3rd down and 12 is the distance to go now as they're sending everybody downfield, and they hit the check down, but it's not going to help them out. They pump the football away, and Rutgers threatening to go 3 and out. They will not, as that's a big play to the 43-yard line. And they're going to hand it off right up the middle. Lane opens, and that's a 12-yard run. Can't really allow much more as you're trying to hold them out of field goal range. They're right on the fringe. 4th down and 1. They go for it, and he's not going to get there. Defense does a phenomenal job, and James Madison has a chance in this one as they complete the pass, catch, and run. Quarterback stepped up, fired it on their own 3rd down as they go to the other side of the field. That's going to be a 1st down to the 26-yard line. 60 seconds to play as he's going to turn, get sacked, and loss of just 2, though. Now you're looking at 3rd and 12 with 48 seconds to play. He's getting sacked again. 4th and 22. This is your game right here. He's chucking one deep. It's intercepted. Rutgers is going to win it as James Madison had multiple opportunities inside enemy territory, down by a touchdown, and couldn't get the job done. Now we go to Minnesota, and it is still snowing. Is it just snowing all over the world right now? The entire country is just covered in snow as another snow game. 24-17 is your score after a UCF big touchdown, and you'd think playing Minnesota in the snow is not a good thing for a Florida team, but they are holding their own right now, and they got a 7-point lead. But Minnesota driving at the 32-yard line. He's getting sacked on 3rd down, and they're going to have to punt it. They don't want to kick a long kick in the snow. So UCF running through defenders and getting a 1st down with 4 minutes to play. Now we jump to another 3rd down where they convert. And now they're running some more time off the clock. 1st down and 10. He's going to look, and he couldn't get the pass off. Sacked. 3rd and 16. Minnesota should be able to get off the field here, but they're not going to. And 3rd and 16 turns into a 67-yard touchdown. Minnesota had every advantage in this one, and they are going to try to fight themselves back into it. How about 82 yards the other way? 3 minutes to go, and it's back to a 1-score game just like that, as UCF needs a little bit more to try to close out this one. 3rd down and 4 for UCF after a 2-yard game. Play action rolling out. Throw on the run. It's going to be broken up. Minnesota's going to get a chance in this one with a great field position. 1:50 to go as that ball's intercepted. I couldn't even see it, but it's intercepted on the sidelines. And UCF, 1 first down, can put it away. They're not going to get it. It's 3 and out, but Minnesota now is backed up even further, and now they have no timeouts with 1:20 to go, and it's 4th down and 3 after an incomplete pass. They're going to run it. Surprising run, but it works. So, you know, you lose a little bit of time there, but you're going to be happy moving the chains there. 60 seconds to go. Got to get rid of the football. He does. It's completed. It looked like he was just going to get rid of it in the face of pressure, but he's got it to the 47-yard line, spiking the football, and now it's 2nd and 10. Breaks out of a sack. He's going to throw it outside. Caught. It looked like it was going to be a disastrous sack, and he turns it into a double-digit yard gain, 35-yard line. He's going to throw one deep down the field. It's caught to the 5, 30-yard gain. Goal to go, 30 seconds, end zone. It's intercepted. And UCF is going to survive that one. Now we jump to another snow game. What is going on? Why is it snowing in every game? It's not like we've been in close proximity team-wise. I mean, we started in Virginia, went to Minnesota, now we're in California. It is snowing everywhere. What is going on? The world is crumbling apart. Every game is a snow game in the first round of the playoffs. Let's see who comes out on top of a 13-13 game. LSU trying to defend their national championship. Stanford, meanwhile, trying to defend their home turf as a long kick. How about 57 yards in the snow? no, it's wide right, maybe a little short as well, and that's going to give Stanford amazing field position with 4 minutes to play, and one play they were past midfield. 2nd down and 3 now from the 41-yard line. That's going to be a first down grab, and they're looking like they're going to be in long distance field goal range. 3rd down and 6, floating one to the end zone. It's broken up. LSU gets off the field, and they're going to just be allowing 3 points, it looks like, and the kick is good. LSU threatening to go out in round 1, but they are not going to go out without a fight. How about 76 yards? Touchdown, LSU. And just like that, they are back on top. Stanford responding with an amazing play along the sidelines. And the fumble there, it looked like a bad snap. That is odd. They're going to hurry back to the line. 4th down and 6. This is game now all of a sudden. Ball is snapped from the 49-yard line. He's going to move. He's going to roll right, and pressure gets in, and it's a sack. And that missed play there on 3rd down. Like, you fumble the snap, and now it's game over with 1 first down run. That is brutal. Now, next round, LSU were sticking with them. They took on Kansas State previously in the playoffs and beat them, I believe it was, 52-10? Well, it's a lot closer this time for a number 2 seed. Kansas State Wildcats says LSU to the end zone. Touchdown! And they are in front. 3rd down and 4 the other way for K-State as they got time in the pocket. Just a 3-man rush. He's going to tuck. He's going to try to run for it. He's got the first down and trying to avenge that blowout loss from last time around, and they're going to get sacked for a 9-yard loss. It's going to be play action. And how about another sack? Maybe stop doing play action. I don't think it's working. 3rd down and 26. He's pressured again. He can't get the throw up. He winded up, and it looked like he was going to let that one fly for like 50 yards in the air. Because he got sacked 3 times on that drive, you gave him great field position. They're not going to go 3 and out after that big play. And about a 20-yard gain is going to set them up in field goal range. But how about a first down carry all the way to the 12-yard line? 2-minute warning has hit. 2nd and 6 to the edge. He's going to find a lane. Touchdown. LSU has it by 2 scores now. And with 45 seconds to play, it's just a absolute massacre in the backfield. This is ridiculous. How about 4th and 17 for the game there? It's going to be incomplete. And Kansas State just cannot beat LSU. Now we jump to UCF, who went into the snow and took out Minnesota. Now they got to go and take out Ohio State. Luckily, no snow. There was no snow last game, but the last game was in a dome, so, you know, I was a little unsure. But we're here in Miami, so if it started snowing in Miami, I would have been really concerned, as we have a 16-21 game. Ohio State going for it on 4th down. The offensive line does a phenomenal job. They needed 1 yard. They got 14 inside the 10-yard line with the opportunity to take the lead. Ohio State tucking and running and throwing to the back of the end zone. He caught it, but they say out of bounds. 4th and goal. Now you got to try again. He's rolling the other way. He's running. He's going to get it. Touchdown. And he was, you know, scaring Ohio State fans with that run. It looked like he still wanted to try to throw the football down the field, and even though he had a lane, he just wouldn't commit to it, but he still got there. It's a 1-point game after a missed 2-point conversion, so 22-21, and UCF with the big run there. Under 3 to go as he goes right up the seam, and that's going to be caught. Great play in between 2 defenders. Now a bubble to the outside, inside the 20, to the 15, and all the way down to the 11. A 15-yard gain with 2 minutes to play. Handoff right up the middle. Touchdown, UCF. They got the lead. Now it's their turn to go for 2 to try to get a full touchdown lead out of it, and they do. 29-22, Ohio State, undefeated season on the line, 13-0, and they're not letting it slip away. That easy 140 to play as he's going to throw a curl route. Got the first down to the 32-yard line. 1:15 to go now as he's going to go middle, caught inside the 10, and Ohio State is driving. 30 seconds to go, and that's a touchdown, and we are going to overtime as UCF starts with the football, and they deliver one play, 24 yards, and to the 1-yard line they go. You go to 2nd and goal where the defense stops him. How about backed up to the 4-yard line, 3rd and goal. He's running, he's throwing, and it just went right over everyone's head. It looked like he conceded that one. You get to the 1-yard line the first play of overtime, and you have to settle for a field goal. Ohio State door wide open for the win now as they got a first down run there. To the 11-yard line they go, 3rd down and 7. He's got the drag route. He's turning it into the end zone. Touchdown. Ohio State walks it off as they had that clutch drive to close out the fourth quarter, and they get the job done. Speaking of getting the job done, Houston Christian did not do that. How about getting smacked around by Central Michigan? I mean, they were on the ropes against UNLV, and then they get smacked by Central Michigan. Another blowout here, as Central Michigan then proceeds to get pretty comfortably beaten by Ohio State. I know the final score was a 16-point game, but it was one of those games where garbage time points didn't really feel like it was worth showing, as we got Georgia versus LSU now, semifinals matchup. It's going to be Ohio State in the national championship, but will it be against LSU trying to get back-to-back, or will it be Georgia, who won the year one national championship, knocking off Oregon? Will they be in the mix? As it's 4th down and 8, field goal try for LSU is through the uprights. Good. 7-point lead as Georgia takes over with 5 to go, as they will throw. Middle, cut, and that's going to be a great way to start your drive with a 19-yard gain. Under 5 to go, play action. He's going to throw it down the middle again, and this one was open in the zones. How about at the 33-yard line? So quickly this Georgia offense has moved, and how about taking a third big shot down the middle and inside the 5, handoff, touchdown. Georgia just obliterating the defense down the middle. Now LSU threatening to go 3 and out, but one big play again. How about it? He's going to take it all the way from 83 yards out at the 2-minute warning. And Georgia does all that work to get down the field just for LSU to take it in one play. Now a fumble as Georgia scoops it up. It's 3rd and 13 with a minute to go. Middle, he's going to set them up for 4th and 7. And this is your big moment here. We're in a trip to the national championship on the line. It's caught. Middle again. It seems like that's the only way this Georgia team can attack, but I guess they're proving me wrong. That's a shot to the left side of the field. He's tracked down at the 1. LSU preserves the touchdown for now, but not for one play more, as it's going to be a Georgia score. We're into overtime, and LSU's chance at repeating national championships is going to be on the line here for their defense, as they couldn't get a touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal, but 3rd down the other way. Georgia gets stopped. Both teams stall out, and it's going to be a field goal try, as we will go into second overtime, 30-30, as Georgia takes it. First play action. He's got time. He's going to fire over the middle. It's intercepted. LSU now just needs any points, and they're going back to a national title. 3rd down and 7. It does not matter that you get sacked as long as you hit the field goal here. Kick for a shot at a back-to-back is going to be good. And national championship. It's Ohio State. It's LSU. It's 37-34. A high-scoring battle, but LSU, who does not have the football, also is down by 3. Ohio State, you need to make sure you can hold that team to a field goal, but they are driving all the way to the 13-yard line. A 20-yard gain. They're 3rd down and 4, needing to get off the field. They're not going to. Touchdown, as it's now a 10-point game. LSU got to respond, and they need to do it pretty quickly. Under 4 minutes to play now, and you're down by 10, as your hopes at the back-to-back are falling apart. 3rd down and 11. He's going to throw, but he's breaking out of a sack. Not 2. Pressure swarming. 4th and 17, as now you're throwing one down the middle. Intercepted. LSU watching them run it all the way back. How about a pick 6 to end it? LSU was about to put themselves in way ahead of everybody else, way ahead of the pack, winning 2 national championships before anybody could win 1. And that did not happen because Ohio State has preserved this video early on from being a potential runaway. As, you know, you go and win 2 national championships in one of these videos, you're basically a winner. Now, this video is a bit different because already in the first 3 seasons we've seen 4 national title appearances, because we've had Oregon make it in year 1, LSU won it in year 2, LSU made it in year 3, and Ohio State made it and then won it in year 3. So the national championship success is a little bit different in this video than previous ones, but still, it's going to be hard to win 2. And LSU had their chance, couldn't do it. Ohio State's got one on the board now. As we go to year 4, how about Minnesota, Michigan, 2 11-1 schools. We also have LSU, Miami, and Oregon in the playoff hunt. UTSA on the bubble. Ohio State also on the bubble. Probably not going to get in. We'll see. But we're looking at 5, maybe 6 teams in the playoffs. And look what it is. It's snowing again. As we got Minnesota, Michigan. It's a little Big Ten showdown, but we ain't in the Big Ten. The conference is much bigger and more competitive than the Big Ten. as Michigan down by 5 is going to chuck one deep over the shoulder. Touchdown. What a play. Great ball. And now the 2-point conversion for Michigan. He's going to run it in. And now it's 32-29. Minnesota trying to hold on to the #1 ranking in the nation. And in order to do that and get that first round bye, you're going to need to win this one as it's at the 25-yard line. Handing it off. They're getting stopped in the backfield. 3rd down and 13. Minnesota with the screen. Little dig screen is not going to get them there. 4th down. They're going to punt it. Wasn't a good punt, but Michigan set up a great field position. And Michigan, look at the just stiff arm punching him in the face, basically. 3rd down and 4. Screen. Minnesota's out of timeouts. They used them all before the warning. Didn't matter when they used them. They just had to use them, but they couldn't stop them regardless. Michigan gets it. We have UTSA. We have Minnesota. We have Oregon, LSU. We have a bunch of teams in the playoffs. UTSA versus Minnesota in round 1. Minnesota, unfortunately, couldn't get the job done last season on their home turf, and they didn't get the job done this season right now in the conference championship, so they really need this win. UTSA, meanwhile, it's been a while. I mean, like, they got to the playoffs in year 1, lost to Charlotte, and now, you know, like I said, opportunities are few and far between, and you get one there. You get a big break if you're Minnesota with that field goal hitting the post, and I've said this already multiple times. With a conference like this, you got to take advantage of the opportunities you get. And Minnesota, if you can't capitalize, if you can't win year after year, you're going to eventually fall out of the rotation. And UTSA, meanwhile, trying to get themselves into that top mix. Minnesota driving down the field as it's going to be to the 28-yard line all the way to the 14. Timeouts are being used, and UTSA is not going to be able to stop. Maybe allowing the touchdown was the best thing it could have done to make sure they can't run out the clock and kick a field goal. But UTSA, okay, there you go to the tight end. 33-yard line, you got 40 seconds to play. 2nd and 10. He's throwing for the end zone. It's an open man. Touchdown, UTSA. We're going to overtime, and all of a sudden, overtime games are popping up like crazy as Minnesota. I mean, you look at the flip side for them, they could have just kneeled that ball down at the 1-yard line, kicked the game-winning field goal, and walked out of here. Instead, they're struggling. They get stopped in overtime, have to kick a field goal, and UTSA can win it with a touchdown right now. Quick screen outside is going to start things off with an 8-yard gain. We'll go to 3rd down and 2 where they spread the field. He's looking. He's stepping up. He's throwing for the end zone. Touchdown, UTSA! And Minnesota, brutal. You had the game in your hands, and you let it slip away. And UTSA, that's a big win for them. How about the other side of the bracket? We go Miami with their first playoff appearance. Gets pretty much shut down by Nebraska, as Nebraska's already had some success in this video, being one of the teams outside this conference. Now we go to Oregon versus LSU. A big matchup here. Look at that. If it wasn't for his own player getting in his way, I think he might have went all the way to the end zone, as LSU is down by 2 scores. Make it 1 with this field goal if they knock it through. And they don't. It hit the upright. And now you're down by 2 scores still. And it could be 3. Oregon down the middle. And it's a touchdown, and they are up. 2-point conversion, and they get it. Brutal. Now it's a 17-point game as LSU throwing a pick, and it's not just a pick, it's a pick 6. Oregon dominates this 4th quarter, and LSU goes home in the 1st round. Now we go to Oregon versus the conference champion Michigan, as LSU is done for. Oregon already with a national championship appearance under their belt. Can they get to a 2nd as they throw outside over the head of the receiver? And they're not going to try a 58-yarder. They're going to punt it away to Michigan, who's got the lead, and under 5 minutes to play. We're under 4 now, 3rd down and 7. He's going to float one, and that's going to be double coverage, triple coverage even. It's incomplete as Oregon takes the football back, shot down the middle, caught past midfield, and we are ticking to 3 minutes to go in a 5-point game, and the blindside sack gets in there, and Michigan to 3rd and 16 is going to watch their defense just have to deal with a little handoff. Man, I don't know about that one, but okay. Maybe I shouldn't have questioned it, because Oregon gets an interception immediately. I said, I don't know if you should trust your defense in that situation, but I guess I was wrong. Oregon is going to get sacked, though, at 3rd down and 20 with a minute to play. It's looking rough right now, and he can't pick up a block. He gets a yard on a scramble. 40 seconds to go, 4th and 19. Your game on the line here. Got to get a throw off, and, well, that was really passive playing at the end of that game from that offense, but we jump ahead with Michigan winning. Texas A&M is taking on UTSA, a little interstate battle as Texas A&M up 28-24. UTSA had that big breakthrough win, and we'll see if they can keep on moving it forward in this video. They are one of the teams that, you know, was one of the best teams in any of the 16 videos that we did. They are very much deserving of being here. They were maybe the most impressive team throughout any of the simulations when it comes to building from the ground up and becoming a true powerhouse. So I'm interested to see if this is really the start of UTSA's little run here, as there's a flag down. It's a 1-point game after a field goal. A&M has an ineligible man downfield, so it's going to back them up. 3rd down and 15 is the result of that penalty. After some struggling plays, screen is going to get them half those yards roughly, but it's going to result in a punt regardless. UTSA is going to get a 1st down carry into enemy territory, 2:20 to play, as he's going to float one outside, tipped and intercepted, and A&M, they were just in the right place at the right time. That safety flew over and cut it off the tip, as now they take over in field goal range now with 1 play, but they can run out the clock here with a 1st down. 3rd down and 9 is the situation. He's going to throw it away. I don't like that. At the very least, you should have taken like the 1-yard sack or whatever it would have been to make them use their final timeout. They do knock home a field goal. It's 31-27 though, and UTSA has just a minute and a half to go down the field. They already take a sack. 3rd down and 15, knocked away. 4th down and 15. Game on the line here. They're throwing it. It's tipped away. And that is game. UTSA goes down. We jump to Michigan, where they're taking on Nebraska. And would you look at that? Nebraska's the 12th seed, and they over here went and dominated Miami and have now found themselves all the way here against the #1 team in Michigan. It's going to be Michigan with the football back up by 7, and that was just a blown opportunity at an interception. I mean, Nebraska's still going to take over, but it's going to be a 3-and-out. Michigan takes it back. There's not been a lot of offense, but one big play is all it takes for Michigan on a pop pass, and it is a touchdown from 53 yards out. And that could be what sends Michigan to the promised land, as 4th down. Nebraska's done nothing in this 4th quarter. They're going to finally get a 1st down on the board and do something. You're down by 2 scores, but under 3 to go now, and the defense is just swarming. Nebraska's overwhelmed. They're looking a little bit more like a 12 seed as they're getting sacked again. And now 3rd and 33, as he's just got to throw one deep and hope. And well, he does catch it, and they give him the 1st down. Okay, 3rd and 33 converted. Just right at the line, too, exactly enough. And Nebraska gets a block downfield after that big grab to the 16-yard line. They still have all their timeouts. You would like to hold on to all of them, as that's going to be incomplete 4th down and 10, but you need to get it in the end zone here, and you're not going to fumble. And that is going to be game. It looks like one more handoff for the 1st down, and it's not going to be just the 1st down. Michigan is running themselves all the way to a national championship, 65-yard touchdown. And Michigan is taking on Kansas State. Kansas State's been in the mix. They haven't been able to take down LSU, but LSU ain't around, so I guess Kansas State is A-okay, as Michigan in a 1-point game is on defense. Kansas State going to convert for a 1st down into field goal range. 3rd down and 6 now, trying to get off the field with 6 to go. Middle, that's going to be caught, and he's inside the 5, down to the 1, and Kansas State could put this one into the end zone, but a big stop there, loss of 6. Backed up to the 7 now. Goal to go still as he throws it cross body. Caught. Broke a tackle. Down to the 1 again. He got another try at it. Handoff. He's going to get stopped again. Michigan's defense incredible there from the 1-yard line. Field goal is good, but Michigan now doesn't have to just tie it with a touchdown or a 2-point conversion. They can win it, except they go 3-and-out and pump the football away and have to trust their defense again. And Kansas State, since they're not running their offense from the 1-yard line, they seem to be able to move the ball now as it's 1st down and 10 after a run. They get a 1st down now through the air. 2-minute warning. Michigan, you need to get off the field, need to hold them to a field goal. 3rd and 11, handoff, and he is stopped. So, you know, with all the stuff that has gone down, it is going to be a 1-score game, and Michigan has one final chance at this one, and they take advantage. 81 yards, touchdown, and we could be heading to overtime if Kansas State isn't going to get the job done in regulation. A minute to go, and from the 36, he's going to fire one over the middle. He hangs onto that one from the 47. Now 55 seconds to go. He's going to tuck, he's going to run it. Michigan got to chase him down, but he's got a lot of room and slides it all the way to the 28-yard line. They run the clock down. Field goal for the win is good. Kansas State takes home the national championship, and even though it was a loss for Michigan, it's still been really impressive. Every year we've had a national championship representative, and I mean, they just couldn't get the job done there. They were close, and that QB scramble was really the difference maker there, but we have another national championship appearance from another different team as well. 4 years in, we've had 5 national championship appearances, 4 different teams. Every single year there has been a different team involved. LSU did double up that one time where they lost to Ohio State, but we've seen Oregon, LSU, Ohio State, Michigan. 2 have won, 2 have lost, and now we head to year 5 as we are looking to see if we can make it 5 in a row. Minnesota back on top, and it's actually a weaker year for the conference. All right, we're not going to have like 30 teams in the playoffs this time around. It's going to be Minnesota, LSU, and we'll see if another team, slides in there, as James Madison could if they win this conference championship. They're 8-4, but they're number 21 in the country, and a conference championship victory would probably put them in there. Minnesota is in regardless, but Minnesota needs to stop choking some games away here. They've now lost 3 big games in the last 2 years, and this is their chance to get on the board for a conference championship. They need this one, but James Madison is threatening to go up by 2 scores as it's goal to go. 3rd down and goal now at 4 minutes to play. He's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown! And James Madison could take out Minnesota in an upset, but Minnesota, needing a big play, has got one, and it's at the 20-yard line they go as they're throwing. He's going to fire close to the end zone. It's a diving grab at the 2-yard line. Now goal to go from the 2. He's going to scramble. He's going to get it into the end zone. Minnesota cuts it down to a 1-score game. 2.5 to go as James Madison can run out the clock here. Minnesota, with the 2-minute warning hitting, is starting to use their timeouts. And Minnesota, this would be bad if they lost this one. 3rd down, game on the line here, as they will have it! And that was a tough grab to make, but he wins it out. And even though Minnesota takes home the Heisman, they cannot take home a big victory, as they will have to go the long way. We see them, LSU, get in. James Madison did not get in. I mean, they were just too far down. So Minnesota, I mean, all the conference championship really did was knock them out of first round bye. So, I mean, that's still rough because they haven't been able to get the job done in these big games, but they got their Heisman-winning quarterback. They need to do something here, as they are going to run it ahead for a 2-yard gain on 3rd down, but they're going to have to punt the football away. And, maybe the worst thing that could happen to Minnesota, they're taking on a 12 seed in the playoffs, round 1, as Houston is trying to tie this one up. They got it to the 10-yard line, and they will throw. He's stepping. He's going to run it. He's into the end zone. 2-point conversion on its way for the tie. Handoff. Minnesota gets the stop, and they really can't afford to lose this game. I think if they lose this game, any chance of Minnesota doing anything significant in this video might be just over. The windows are smaller than ever, and you need to capitalize when you get the try. And now, with the game on the line, there you go, Minnesota busts one wide open. Touchdown! And that is what they needed desperately to go up by 2 scores, grab an interception, and seal the deal with a victory. That is huge for Minnesota. They needed that one so bad. We go over to LSU, who's taking on Penn State, and Penn State is going to be down by 8. LSU, they got in here. They're 9-3 though, but they are number 6 in the nation, getting that home game, as it's just weirdly a weaker year for the conference. I mean, that's going to happen sometimes where all these teams are so talented and they're all over here taking losses out from one another. And, you got all these teams going 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, but even 9-3 is enough, as Penn State going for the tie here after the touchdown. 2-point conversion on its way. It's good. And we are tied up 21-21 with 5 minutes to go. LSU going to have a completion for a 1st down. Now jumping to 2nd and 7, where they fire middle, caught, defenders in the air. area, but could not get the ball out of his hands. It's now from midfield. They're going to throw underneath. He's going to get the first down, and they are just about in field goal range now, but still plenty of time for Penn State to do something here. Swing pass to the outside, swarming down to get him for a 3-yard loss, and now it's a little bit tougher of a field goal, but they won't have to worry about that now as they're in the red zone with a completion on 3rd and long. And now another 3rd and long situation. You can't take a sack here, and they will not. Good job to throw the football away. Get yourself a field goal try, a very makeable one. Kick is good, and Penn State will have 2 minutes to go, down by 3, to try to pull something off here, and that's how you start the drive with a play to the 35 as they will throw one down the field, and instantly this team has just flipped it on its head. It's a touchdown from 65, and LSU threatening to lose this one, and now you're throwing the game away. Intercepted. In the first play of the drive, you throw a pick, and now on 3rd down and 5 with the game on the line, Penn State wraps it up, and LSU looked like they had it, but it just did not go their way. Minnesota, meanwhile, goes, and I think they're a little bit more comfortable now. 45-10 over Northern Illinois. Minnesota gets to move on to the semifinals, where they're taking on Georgia, as Georgia gets sacked there. It's a 13-10 game, but Minnesota is really the only hope we got to have this little streak of ours continue, of everyone having a national championship appearance from this conference. I mean, we're looking like prime SEC with the way that these teams are appearing in national championships left and right, as Minnesota taking over. They may be down by 3, but that's going to be roughly a 30-yard gain to get them into enemy territory now, as they are in position to tie this game up, but they want the lead. And how about a double-digit yard chunk run, 12 on the play, and now from the 21-yard line, they are breaking out of 1 sack, not 2, and it's going to be 3rd and 17. Don't take another sack here, though, as he's stepping up. He's going to get hit as he's throwing. That's okay, because he can kick a 48-yard field goal, which is good. Tying this game up. 2 minutes to go, Georgia. Can the defense come up with a big play for Minnesota, as Georgia's going to have a completion there? And how about another one? That was a low ball, hard to defend. And Georgia hits one over the top. Touchdown from 39. And Minnesota's got to come up big here. Their Heisman-winning quarterback's got to do something, and that's going to be a 10-yarder to start the drive. You got 65 seconds to play roughly, as another completion's going to get him another first down. That's 2 in a row, stringing it together, and you go for 3. He's going to scramble, and there he goes. That's going to be a 15-yarder, and their quarterback is looking every bit the Heisman winner, as he's going to take a shot deep, incomplete. It's now 4th and 3. It's been rough, and now they go pop pass, and he's got the first down. Keeping it going, 20 seconds, but you're out of timeouts, and that's tipped, incomplete. 4th and 7, 18 seconds to go. He's taking a shot, incomplete, and Minnesota goes down. They were just stalling a little too much in the late stages of that drive, and it just did not go their way. And I mean, it's impressive that we made it this far with the, national championship appearance every single year. I didn't know what to really expect going into this one with the amount of national championship appearances that we would get, but it was unrealistic to expect it would happen every year. But Minnesota does take it all the way to the semifinals, has a big breakthrough year, some big draft classes for these guys, as we are now just a third of the way through. These recruiting classes continue to be pretty crazy, as I'm really interested to see what the final tally for a lot of them is going to be. Every single team lowest was 54, so every single team was upper half of the country in recruiting, which is crazy. And in this next season, it's Miami undefeated, Oregon, and then there's some other teams kind of floating at that 9-win mark, kind of on the bubble of the playoffs, but it's looking like it's going to be Oregon or Miami's year to potentially be great. And Charlotte, even though they finally kind of bounced back with a respectable recruiting class, I think they just had too much damage done to them. And like I said, it just takes one mistake to kind of get the ball rolling on your downfall. And, when you go and have everybody else have twice as good of a recruiting class as you for 2 years straight, and then your prestige starts to go down, you start to lose, and all these other things start to happen. It's a snowball effect. It can happen the other way around, though. It can happen on an upward trajectory as well, as that's going to be an interception. 6 minutes to play. Miami up by 3 as they take the football back, and that's a really good return all the way to the 11-yard line of Miami, threatening to go up by 2 scores, as they will do just that. Touchdown, Miami, looking to go 13-0 and get that first round by Oregon. Still has not quite gotten nearly as to the level that they did in year one with that national championship appearance, as they are now down by 10 points, 5 minutes to play. Solid field position, as that's a fumble, and I guess it doesn't matter. That's Miami football. They take it back, and it's looking like Miami is going to run away with this one, especially if they get into the end zone here. 2.5 to go. Third down screen. He's got the first down, and they are working this drive all the way inside the 10, under 2 minutes to play. And while it is just a field goal try that gets it still within a 2-score game, Oregon's out of timeouts. They're under 2 minutes to play, and it's looking pretty bleak for them, but they will get a big play here past midfield. It's going to be, something where they need an onside kick, and you know how likely that is. We get lucky to see even one onside kick recovered in one of these videos, though. If any team I'm betting on to get something stupid to happen and go in their favor, it would be Oregon, as they're going to go from 3rd and 27 to 4th and 11. It's looking like it's not going to happen today, though, as it's incomplete. Miami takes home the conference championship, and they take home a Heisman Trophy, as that is another one on the board when it comes to an accolade being won here. UTSA made the playoffs. You also see Ohio State get in there. So Miami is looking like a team that can put themselves into that conversation. It's going to be at least one national championship needed to get a victory here, and two might even be, like, we might see some teams get two. I don't know. Either we're going to see a bunch of teams get one, and it's going to be very spread out, or we might see, like, 2 teams go and snag 2, which would be pretty crazy. As UTSA, we're kind of focusing in on them. They're up by 8 against Kentucky. They're looking for another playoff win on their resume, as UTSA is one of those teams that hasn't gotten to the promised land yet. A lot of teams have not, but I feel like UTSA is one of those teams that I wouldn't be surprised if they did get there. They're up by 11 right now. Minute to play. Kentucky throwing in interception. It's going to be a pretty easy victory here on the road, so that's a playoff victory for UTSA. Meanwhile, we look at Alabama, and Alabama's been really quiet. They get dominated by Oklahoma State in the playoffs, so interesting. I think Alabama would have been like one of the favorites in this video. Like, if you were picking, a betting favorite, I think Alabama would have been in everybody's at least top 5. They've been very quiet in this video. Meanwhile, we look over at Ohio State getting a fumble, scooping it up, and taking it the other way as an upset is brewing here. A 2-score lead over Oregon. Oregon, 11 wins on the regular season, and they're taking on an Ohio State team that inexplicably snuck in at 8-4. You don't see many 8-4 teams sneak into the playoffs, and Ohio State is trying to make the most of that opportunity, but these teams are so strong in this conference that even winning 8 games is impressive. And for as good as these teams are, it really is. If you get into the mix, you get into the bracket, you get into the playoffs, you have a real opportunity. And Ohio State's proven that. Maybe it doesn't matter that they won 3 less games than Oregon. They didn't make the conference championship. They won a national championship before, and they are looking to do it again as a first down run there, maintaining a 7-point lead. 4 minutes to play. Play action. Middle, that's caught for the first down. On the 47-yard line they go as they go play action once more. Shot over the middle, caught. He's got room, and he's running it all the way to the 17-yard line with the 2-minute warning hitting, and Ohio State is going to be able to pull this one off if they can punch it in, and they do. Touchdown. I don't think Oregon knows what hit them, but they got to do something crazy fast. They're off his back foot, ball down the field. It's gonna be caught. Oregon, maybe it's not quite done yet, but they need to get it into the end zone here, and they will not. That ball gets knocked out last second. 4th down and goal from the 10, basically, as it's gonna be incomplete, knocked away again. And that is going to be Oregon going down to an 8-win Ohio State team. Now we keep it going with Ohio State. They're taking on Oklahoma here. And how crazy would it be if we see an 8-4 team go all the way as they get a stop on 4th down? Oklahoma does, as they get the football back. And now going up by 2 scores could be the result here with 6 minutes to go. Screen set up on 3rd down, and they didn't even throw the screen. They almost threw a pick. Oklahoma, though, is going to get the 2-score lead regardless, and you know, maybe the miracle run for Ohio State is going to come to an end here, but still impressive that they even got a playoff win, that they're here in the first place as they go read option, and it's going to be right up the middle. That's going to be a first down. Time is ticking down there. You're under 4 minutes to go. Remember, 2-score game. You need a big play, and that almost was a big one for the defense, as on 4th down and 10, he's going to throw, and tipped away, incomplete. It's looking rough for Ohio State, but they could get a 3-and-out stop here. They will, so it's not done yet. Punt for Oklahoma is going to send them back into their own 1-yard line with 2 minutes to play. So I think this would be an all-time miracle if they pull it off, but look at Ohio State. Are you kidding me? 98 yards. How about getting pinned at your own 1 and then pulling off a 98-yard touchdown to give yourself a chance? They need to get a stop, though, as Oklahoma's going to get close to a first down. 2nd and 1. They get the first down, and it could be all wrapped up. There is a small difference in the play clock and game clock where they can get like 10 seconds to go. They get the stop. 3rd down and 8 as Oklahoma gonna get sacked. Yeah, they'll get 6 seconds to go. They'll punt it. You could probably set up a Hail Mary try here. If you get a good return, maybe you get into field goal range in time. He's gonna field it past his own 40. He's gonna go right, then go back left. He gets a lane. He got a lane, and no one's gonna catch him. Are you kidding me? Touchdown on the punt return as time expires. And the rush lanes of Oklahoma were awful there. They kicked it right to him. Maybe you should have kicked it out of bounds. And they made him pay on a walk-off punt return touchdown. And looking like Deshaun Jackson there, as that was incredible. I feel like at this point in the year with all these videos I've done, it's not often that we see something new. It's not often that we see something that we've never seen before, but that is going to be something that is going to be hard to replicate as we go into the next matchup. It's Miami and it's UTSA, and that's a big play for Miami, who, despite being undefeated right now, is losing to UTSA with about 4.5 to go, but they got that big play to get them in scoring position, and that will run all the way inside the 10, gain of 14, now down to the 1-yard line as they will get stopped in the backfield. 4th down and goal, and they will punch it into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami, 23-23 with 2 minutes to go. UTSA trying to pull this one off as the tuck and run will slide them down. They'll go 3-and-out. So Miami will get the football back, and they're not going 3-and-out here as they go first down to midfield. 1:30 to go as they'll sling one middle, and that's an open man into field goal range, and UTSA in trouble, needing to get off the field there, but they can't do it, meaning Miami can run out the clock. 3, 2, 1, and the kick is good. They are moving on, and they're taking on an undefeated Northwestern team. So a random undefeated season for Northwestern, but Miami with the trip to the national championship on the line. It's 30-28 as Northwestern is going to have the football for a first down, as they just need to get into field goal range to try to take this lead, and I think they are right on the fringe with 5 minutes to play now. 3rd and 1. They are most certainly in field goal range, but they're going for the end zone. That should have been a pick. Miami almost came up with a massive play instead. Northwestern will get the field goal, will take a 1-point lead, but Miami's got a lot of time as they are getting almost knocked out of the possession of the football there with 3-and-out, but they get the conversion on a tough grab. And now the quarterback scrambling and a massive 20-yard run. 3 minutes to go as Miami looking for maybe another walk-off field goal, but they're getting sacked. That's Northwestern's first sack of the game, and it came at a big time. Screen now is going to get them a lot of yards back. 4th down and 6. It's doable here. 2 minutes to go, and he's got the first down. Miami coming up clutch, and now in field goal range with 1.5 to go. It's going to be an 11-yard run, and Miami is working this drive amazingly. Another big run. Northwestern out of timeout. Goal to go, and Miami, he's going to tuck, he's going to run it, and he's going to get the touchdown. They could have went for the field goal just like they did against UTSA, but now, this time, they're getting the touchdown and getting the 2-point conversion. Northwestern needs something big here with 1 minute to go, no timeouts, and that is how you get things going with a massive gain there, 28 yards, now to the 47-yard line. He's getting sacked, and there is little time to go. 4th down and 12. He's going to go over the middle and get the first down as as time is still ticking. Remember, no timeouts. 18 seconds to go. They had to spike the football. Then they threw an incomplete pass. Now he's taking a shot for the end zone. It's incomplete. And now 4th and 10, 13 seconds to go. He's looking, he's throwing middle, he's got it, 9 seconds, clock stops momentarily, but you need to get the snap off there, hurrying back to the line. Clock is running, everyone's still not set, making adjustments, 3, 2, they're not gonna get the snap off, and they don't get it. And Northwestern took too much time. And we go to the other side. How about Ohio State? My goodness, they were 8-4. They get a miracle walk-off touchdown, and now they're in the national championship after demolishing a Oklahoma State team that took care of Alabama. Only 7 points allowed. For the second time in this video, we got a national championship matchup between two people in the same conference and a guaranteed national champion coming out of this conference. It's 28-28 with 7 minutes to go. Will it be the undefeated Miami or the improbable miracle 8-4 Ohio State? As Ohio State with the football got a first down there. Now they're at the 31-yard line with 5.5 to play. It is, he's throwing. He couldn't get the ball off. He's sacked and then knocked him out of field goal range. They punted as Miami takes over, but Ohio State interception, and he's taking it back. Pick 6, Ohio State. Can they pull it off for a second national title? Or can Miami rectify things and get there first and cap off an undefeated season? 3rd and 11, Miami up the save for the first down right at midfield. 2.5 to go as Miami is going to tuck. He's going to run it. He's got the first down and more. He's got another big play. 25 yards at the 2-minute warning. Handoff, cutting it back left. He's got it inside the 15-yard line to the 11. 1:20 to play as he goes right up the middle on touchdown Miami. And it's 35-35, 1:17 to go as Ohio State. Can they cap off this miracle season with the national title as they get another first down? Closing in on midfield, 47 seconds to go. He's getting pressured. He's running. He's getting sacked, and that could be the big difference maker to send this to overtime. Ohio State with the run. He gets a big gain. He gets the first down. 45-yard line, maybe one first down to get to field goal range, and he doesn't quite have it. Timeout, 3rd down and 1 from the 36, and he's looking. He can't take a sack here. He's going to get hit as he's throwing. It's incomplete from the 36. They are punting. They are not trying a 53-yard field goal because if they miss, Miami's maybe one big play away from a field goal of their own. I still think I would try it. They're going to overtime instead. Miami loses yards there. 3rd down and 5. Handoff right up the middle. That's going to be a first down. And Miami not looking to get that field goal. They know they're going to need a touchdown if they're going to want to win this one, as they are going to be right outside the 2-yard line. Goal to go. Miami back in the end zone. Touchdown. And Ohio State now needs to respond as they are throwing middle. That's caught. And Ohio State to the 6. And the most resilient 8-4 team I have ever seen has got the touchdown. And we are going to overtime number 2. It's 42-42 as Miami is watching Ohio State rack up more yards and potentially get into the end zone again. He's tucking. He's getting brought down. 4th and 2. That is the difference there. Close to a touchdown, but instead they got to settle for a field goal, and Miami can win it on this drive right now as it's 3rd and 2. He's got the first down. And no field goal needed there, but it's 3rd and 11 this time around, and we are getting a field goal try. So they got 1 3rd down conversion, not 2. We are going to a 2-point shootout as in overtime 3, Miami gets it. And now it turns to Ohio State. Pop pass. He's met. He's stopped. Miami wins it. And the unprecedented season from Ohio State is going to end in defeat, as they go 8-4, have a wild run, and lose in heartbreaking fashion. Miami, meanwhile, completes the undefeated season and gets a national championship on the board, meaning that's another team with a title in their possession, and another situation where Ohio State, you know, what happened to them was what they did to LSU. LSU was threatening to get a second national title, and Ohio State put a stop to that. Now, all these years later, Miami puts a stop to Ohio State getting that second title, and Ohio State, who was sure to take a massive lead in this video, now loses and then puts up the worst recruiting class of the conference. That is huge. Miami, meanwhile, is going to miss out on the conference championship, miss out on the playoffs. Ohio State's in the conference championship this year. They're taking on Minnesota. It is a little bit of a, not, I wouldn't say mismatch, but 12-0 versus 9-3. We have a couple other teams in the playoff mix. And for the first time all video, we actually have a dominant conference championship. I didn't know if we'd see one this video. 47-14, Minnesota takes it. Ohio State, meanwhile, is still going to maybe make the playoffs. Minnesota takes home also their second Heisman winning quarterback of the video. Ohio State does make it. Clemson makes it. We have Michigan, Oregon, but Minnesota's been an odd team in this one. How about 2 Heisman winners so far? And they just need to, if they can get a national championship, potentially be in the lead for this video. I mean, 2 Heisman winners, that's pretty crazy in the first, half of the video. As Ohio State, as I said, they're taking on Clemson, and they're 9-4. Not quite 8-4, but 9-4 this season. And they're sliding down, having to punt the football away to Clemson, who's, not really done a whole lot in this video either, but this is their opportunity to go and make something of themselves. And they're going to have a chance to, with the fumble there, is maybe going to erase that. They were down by 3 and fumbled at midfield. And now Ohio State, they're going to go 3 and out, so Clemson, maybe the fumble isn't going to hurt them that much, but you still would like to have not had that go in your... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my... That sack was brutal. 4th and 17, it's tipped and incomplete. I was in the middle of a thought, and that sack just was brutal. He did everything he could to get that ball away, and he just could not do it. Ohio State gets the football back, and they could try to end this one, but they're not going to get the first down. They will get a field goal, so Clemson, they're going to get a 3rd try at this one, but this time they're going to need a touchdown to take the lead here, and there can't be no overtime unless they want to go and miss an extra point for some reason. 1:14 to go, 3rd and 10. Chuck it one deep. It's tipped. It's incomplete. 4th down and 10. Game on the line as they have no timeouts. Taking another shot. It's incomplete, and Ohio State wins it. Now we jump ahead to Michigan, where they're taking on Missouri. Michigan previously made a national championship appearance. Other than that one national title appearance season, it's not been an overly crazy performance from Michigan, but, the opportunities are few and far between for these guys. So we're going to see if, in their next playoff appearance, they can go and do it again. They're getting a sack here as now backed up 3rd and 20. They're up by 2, and they're getting another sack. Missouri, they can't go for that. 4th and 22, they punt it. Michigan takes the football back, and a touchdown here could potentially end this game, but it's 3rd down and 6, so they're threatening to go 3 and out, and it's incomplete. So Michigan's going to punt it away. Missouri with the football back, and they are going to go with a nice play along the sidelines. Right on the line for field goal range. It's 3rd down and 4. They set up the screen, and he's going to have the first down and more to the edge. Past the 20, 10, and he's brought down at the 7. Huge screen there, and they run it on 2nd and goal. Make it 3rd and goal from the 5 now. They're going to throw, but the blitz is sent in. He's got the touchdown. Nice job beating the blitz, getting open and delivering. It's Michigan down by 5 now as they throw an interception. Missouri immediately takes the football back, and they got the football in great field position. 3rd down and 4. They get sacked, and that's going to cost them a field goal try. Michigan has another try added. It's incomplete. They are potentially going to go 4 and out, but they get a massively clutch play there. 43-yard line, 1:30 to go. This is looking like their final try added as they're going to get a big play. Wide open was the check down. He got a huge catch and run to the 36-yard line as now we have a deep drop middle. That ball is going to be caught. 3 defenders in the area, but he got it in between all the zones. And now 3rd down and 5. It's a touchdown. He got it open, and now the 2-point conversion is good. Missouri, leading a minute to get into field goal range for overtime, is going to have all their timeouts, and they'll use one there after a 21-yard gain. Now to the 37-yard line, another chunk play. There you go. Missouri blitz sent in, picks it up, and Missouri, look at them darting up this defense. 20-yard line. He's going to throw outside, intercepted! Michigan just bends but doesn't break, and then we go to Oregon. I don't think we're surprised here. Middle Tennessee versus Oregon's a bit of a mismatch. 42-7 is your score, so Oregon gets the move on as well, and they're taking on Oklahoma here, but things are not looking good for Oregon. How about 23-14, but pad out another touchdown? It's going to be 29-14 and make it 31-14 with a touchdown. Oregon is getting thoroughly handled in this one against Oklahoma, down by 17, and a flag is down. I am surprised that this isn't the first time they've kind of put up a bit of a flat performance. And I know that Nebraska game, they made a bit of a comeback, but they were down by 17 in that game too, and it was basically over until Nebraska kind of let them hang around. And in this one, that is a brutal shot. Oklahoma's going to drive down the field, score one some more, and take care of business here. Final score ends up being 52-14. That is a stunner. Ohio State, meanwhile, is going to be back here against Colorado. This is a playoff matchup we've seen once before, and for Colorado, they are up by 14, and Ohio State, it's looking rough for them. They're going to get the first down, but they need to do something right now as they need to score on this drive, and it needs to be in the end zone, and they will get themselves a nice gain there into enemy territory. Pop pass as they will run themselves all the way to the edge, to the 20 and inside, to the 18 now, as he will throw. That's going to be an open man. He turns it upfield, and he gets to the end zone. So back to a one-score game for Colorado to try to do something with, as they are going to get sacked. And Colorado backed up 2nd and 19 as they run to the edge. He's going to get brought down. How about almost a safety? Now 3rd and 22. He gets brought down, so going to have to punt the football away. But when you're punting from your own end zone, basically, you're giving them great field position. Ohio State in one play does it, but they throw an interception here. Wow, that turned around real quick, and Colorado can put this one away. Handoff. That is going to be 4th and 1, but they review it and call it a first down. And that was really questionable potentially, but that's going to end the game. A booth review for a first down. Minnesota now is going to be taking on Michigan, so we're going to turn our attention to that one. We've seen this matchup before in a conference championship. Minnesota gets an interception. Minnesota on their 2nd Heisman winning quarterback, trying to get to the national championship this time around as they are throwing, and he's got it. That's a touchdown. 2-score lead for Minnesota. And could this be the year for the #1 ranked Minnesota team on, like I said, their 2nd Heisman winner? 3rd down and 5 for Michigan, as that ball should have been picked off. It's 4th down. Obviously got to go for it here as Michigan playoff hope slipping away, but they keep it going, and he gets by the defenders. Look at the speed. It looked like it was just going to be a big 4th down conversion, but he turned it into a touchdown. And Minnesota now needing to go back the other way and do something here to try to slow down this potential momentum and rally in a comeback here. But Minnesota does just that. How about a 70-yard touchdown to put Michigan right back at a 2-score deficit? And I don't know if they got some sort of response in them after that one. That could be the last type of a play to squeeze the life out of them from the 28. And Michigan has got a big play. It gets caught. If he got by the last defender, it might have been a big touchdown there, as he's going to have another play over the middle to the 26-yard line. And nearing that 2-minute warning, he's got another first down. 2:10 to go. Clean pocket. He's got another one inside the 5 now, so we'll hit the 2-minute warning. Goal to go. Touchdown, Michigan. And Minnesota needs to end this one, and they need to do it fast because I don't think you want to give them the ball again. 3rd down and 10. Minnesota for the game is got it, and the Heisman quarterback delivers. That was almost scary if Michigan got that football back. We turn to Minnesota versus Oklahoma now for a shot at the national title on the line. Minnesota, with their last Heisman winning quarterback, got to the semifinals but didn't get to the national title. This time around, they have another try added. Pretty early on, we see Oklahoma tack on a field goal to increase their lead by 7. And with 6 minutes to go, Minnesota with the football, they throw in the flats. He's got the first down, and to the 26-yard line he goes. We tick down to 5 minutes to play as he will throw middle for another first down. He's looked pretty good throughout this entire playoff run. Looked every bit the Heisman winner. But this has been a long drive, and he gets sacked here. 3rd and 5 towards the 4th and 14. He punts it away. And this is going to be brutal as Oklahoma is going to potentially run out the clock here. Another first down run is going to do it. And Minnesota just took so long on that drive, and they made one mistake, punted the football away, and then couldn't stop them. So that's a disappointing end, especially when you go, like I said, 2 Heisman winning quarterbacks, 2 semifinals appearances. With the amount that we have seen teams make the national championship, you would have hoped that this could have been their shot, their chance. But 2 semifinals appearances in this type of video, I don't know if you're going to get back there. We're going to see. We've got some pretty crazy recruiting classes. How about each of the top 5 and like basically almost the entire top 10 is all in the conference? Ohio State, I don't know what's going on with them. They just forgot how to recruit, I guess. And as we go into the next season, Tennessee back in a conference championship. Been a while. Minnesota here. LSU here. So it looks like we're only going to have maybe 3 playoff teams. And the rest are going to be kind of fighting it out for 7 and 8 win seasons. Getting into that conference championship, we have Tennessee at 12-0. Minnesota 10-2. We've seen Minnesota getting quite a bit of conference championship mixes, even though they haven't quite gotten to that national title success that some of these other teams have. Tennessee, meanwhile, it's been a while for them as they are getting a sack here, and another one to drop them. 3rd down and 25 as the handoff's obviously not going to net them a first down, but Tennessee takes over great field position, down by 8 and a first down completion to the 34-yard line. Got 5.5 minutes to get that touchdown and a 2-point conversion as they throw on the run. That's an open man. Touchdown, Tennessee. Great throw and catch, and now the 2-pointer to tie it is gonna be met and no good, but still plenty of time. 4.5 minutes to go, down by 2, and getting a stop on 3rd and inches is massive. 3 and out, and Tennessee with the football back, getting a first down run there, and things are looking great for Tennessee to go down the field, get a little bit more like that, and get into field goal range where they can run the clock and kick that game-winning field goal. We've hit the 2-minute warning from the 42-yard line. He's gonna float one deep, and he's not gonna talk about no field goal. How about a touchdown? And Minnesota has just unraveled in the last couple of minutes here. They need to do something because their offense has been on the sidelines the entire time, but when they finally get a chance, it's a pick 6. Tennessee is taking it all the way for a victory, as that's going to be just a 12-point deficit, as Minnesota is going to come back the other way, and it might be too little too late. A 66-yard touchdown and an onside kick is going to be scooped up by Tennessee, but Minnesota up by 8, and just in a couple of minutes you found yourself down by 2 scores. Minnesota still makes the playoffs. Minnesota might end up having like the most conference championship appearances by the end of this video, but they haven't done very much when it comes to winning them. As speaking of just struggling to win big games, playoff action here as Minnesota tied against Utah 14-14 as Utah with the football, 6 minutes to play. Handoff as he bounces off a blocker is going to get himself 10 yards. He rolled off a defender to get that first down. Now we jump to another 3rd down run where they got the first down again, and Minnesota's defense not doing too well in the run side of things, as a check down underneath is going to have him catch and run. Utah very efficiently finds themselves in the red zone on 3rd down. Another handoff and another first down conversion. How about inside the 10-yard line as Utah read option, they pull it, and it tricks the defense down to the 1-yard line. They go, and nearing the 2-minute warning, an easy walk-in touchdown for Utah. Minnesota down by 7 with 2 to go, and can they have some sort of late game success, as it's just not been there all video, it feels like, as they will throw up the sidelines, and it's intercepted, breaking a tackle. Utah taking it back to the 40-yard line. Now the defense needs to get a stop here. 2nd down and 13. That's going to be a nice run to get to 3rd down and 6. And they pull it again. Read option. Didn't fool them this time around. No first down. Minnesota will have a minute with no timeouts as they have a completion to start their drive to the 39-yard line. Throwing as he will float one deep. And he's got a step and a diving grab. He's got it to the 16-yard line. And now needing just one more big play. And it's intercepted again. Utah wins it. Minnesota, brutal, as we go to the other first-round matchup we have in this conference. Only 3 teams made it, and it's going to be LSU and UMass. And looking at some more 12-seed matchups, as UMass is actually putting up a bit of a fight to LSU. You would have expected that this would be like a blowout potentially, as LSU and UMass is a mismatch on paper, but it's 17-10 right now, and UMass is driving, trying to tie this game up. UB's going to run for it. He's got room, and he slides his way inside the 10-yard line, down to the 8. Handoff, sweeping it left, walk-in touchdown. UMass ties it up. And could we have one of those upsets? We've seen one before where Ohio took out USC. We've had some upsets go down. Oregon's lost a game maybe they should have won, but LSU, look at him flinging that ball, Dave. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, LSU. That quarterback is ridiculous for that throw in the face of pressure, breaking out of sacks and just delivering. That is a really high degree of difficulty type of throw there as UMass gets sacked. 2nd and 16 now as the talent's really shining through for this LSU team, but this UMass squad is scrappy and they are looking to pull it off. Diving grab, he couldn't hang on 3rd down and they punt it. He had him open. Throw could have been better, but he also could have caught it as UMass now has to watch their defense try to get a stop. Sweeping it to the edge. LSU got room to the 35-yard line, and another 1st down will maybe seal this game as he gets to the edge and he's got it. Timeouts being used. They're out of them, and UMass, he's gonna eventually get a stop, but by that point they're out of timeouts. There's a minute to go, and LSU with the field goal to make it a 2-score game is gonna end it. Now we jump to the 2nd round where LSU takes on TCU, and that's gonna start things off with an interception. TCU down by 2. They will be set up in enemy territory after that interception, and one run, he's gonna cut it, and he's gonna go all the way 34 yards, and TCU is on top 25-20 as the RPO slant route's going to result in a broken tackle and a 1st down. Quarterback for LSU has struggled a little bit. 1 touchdown, but 2 picks on the day. So they're going to go lean on the ground game to get them down the field. As the passing game, that's not good. Loss of 1 on the throw. Now 3rd down and 12. He's going to have that ball swatted away. And with 4.5 to go, they punt it. TCU now trying to get in some clock control, getting that 4-minute offense as they're doing a successful job right now. Already down to 2.5 and a 1st down diving grab. Under 2 now after the warning hits, and they're gonna run it. Timeout. 3rd down and 6. LSU with the game on the line is gonna get the stop. 4th down and 4. They punt it, but backed LSU up. They gotta go 82 yards, and that is how you get things started. 31 yards down, still 51 to go as they get another completion for a 1st down to the 32-yard line. 60 seconds to play as they are out of timeouts, and they're getting the check down for the 1st down right inside the red zone at the 19. As 2nd and 10 hits, he'll throw for the end zone. Touchdown, LSU! And they come back to score, and they get the 2-point conversion. TCU now looking to maybe try to get this into overtime, or if they have a big play in them, can get a victory in regulation, and that's going to be a nice start to try to get them at least into field goal range. And there you go, big play down the seam inside the 30, and they are in field goal range. Now they're thinking maybe touchdown, but I think they're playing it pretty conservative with the run there. They're going to call a timeout, kick a field goal, and we are headed to OT. As it is going to be LSU looking for that another national championship appearance. TCU will play touchdown as LSU's turn. Can they do the same as they'll throw underneath? That's going to be a 1st down at least to the 15-yard line. Looking for double overtime. They'll go to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. That was close along the back line, but now LSU in 2nd overtime takes it with a run right up the middle. Touchdown LSU, and now it's their turn to go for 2, where they are going to be on defense after getting stopped. TCU can win it with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. TCU's run game getting them to the 12-yard line. Now we jump ahead to 3rd down and 6 from the 8. TCU back in the end zone, incomplete, and now it's 4th and 6, game on the line. TCU throwing under pressure. He's got it, and he's got the 1st down just barely to the 2-yard line, handing it off. It's a touchdown, TCU. Can they win it here? 2-point conversion, play action. He's looking, check down underneath, and LSU gets there. We're going to a shootout as it's 41-41. First 2-point conversion try by TCU is good. LSU now is going to throw underneath. They got it. How about 4th overtime? LSU's turn to go first. This time slant route in between defenders. Got it. Now TCU to take it to a 5th. They're not going to do it. Read option gets blown up. 2 defenders got there. They had both accounted for, and LSU is going to survive. Now we jump to Tennessee after their 13-0 regular season with the conference championship victory, taking on UNC as it is a close 13-12 low-scoring game where UNC driving to the 13-yard line. Handoff. He's got the edge, and he's going to get met at the 1 and stopped, but they are all the way down, ready to take this lead as the scramble is in. Touchdown, UNC for the 2-point conversion to make it a full 7-point game. They will not get it, so Tennessee could take the lead with a touchdown, but they can't afford to get anything less than that, as the first down will be grabbed there. 2nd down and 9. Play action. Rusher in his face. He delivers, and that's caught. Good job in the face of pressure to get that one off. 6 minutes to play. Another play action. These long developing play actions are not the move. This time it does get him in trouble with the sack. 3rd and 19. He's going to get hit as he's throwing, and the ball just floats right to a defender. He got hit, and the defender is going to take it all the way. Pick 6. And that is unlucky. He looked like he was going to throw one deep, but it just did not go far enough. Now you're going to need a pretty crazy comeback here with 4 minutes to go. Getting sacked 3rd and 14. 4 minutes, 2 touchdowns is what you need, as they will throw. Deep ball, and he's got a step back in the end zone. He's caught it, but out of bounds. It was just too far. 4th and 14, and that was your chance as they throw one down the field for an interception. And they had their chance back in the end zone. It was a tough grab to make. He couldn't get a foot in. And now UNC takes over in good field position. They'll get stopped, but go for a field goal where that's going to make it still a 2-score game, so not done quite yet, but 15-point deficit with 1.5 minutes to go is not looking good for Tennessee, even though they'll score from 75 yards out. Can't get too excited until we see the resulting onside kick, as that ball is going to be scooped up by UNC. And you know how a lot of games typically like to end an onside kick failure. Now UNC has to try to take out another team in this conference. It's LSU, but UNC's up to the challenge right now. 21-14. They are at the 22-yard line. 3rd down. Check down underneath is going to get them close. 4th down and 3. And they're going for direct snap to the running back. And he gets stopped. That is a bold and questionable call. You had the chance to go up by 2 scores, and now you've given LSU the football back with some momentum in a 1-score game. I say it a lot, but I'm all for going for it, but there are situations where it's right and wrong, and that one seemed like a wrong time to do it. Under 4 minutes to play as LSU now driving, and on 2nd down and 5, floating one, that's going to be caught, turning around, end zone, touchdown. He turned around, defender missed, and he was able to get in. Now a pass swatted at the line. They're going to have to punt it 3-0, and LSU in a tie game at 2 minutes to go is at midfield, and they are close to field goal range, and that play right there is going to put them in. It's about a 50-yarder from here. 1:30 to play. Handoff right up the middle. He's got the first down and more. He shoots through the lane. Touchdown, LSU. And they have really botched this one, UNC did, as they still have a chance at it. They need to get it into overtime, though. That's what their best case scenario seems to be like, as they're getting closer to that option, as it's the 34-yard line, 3rd and 7. He's throwing, he's tucking now and running it. He's not going to get the first down, but he'll set up 4th down and 3 with 30 seconds to play. Throwing outside, it's going to be caught. He hung on. They'll burn a timeout. That's their final one. 20 seconds to go. He'll throw underneath. Maybe got to get out of bounds here, or at least get the first down. Well, he does both. Goal to go. 2nd down. He'll throw back of the end zone. No one there. Just threw it away. 13 seconds to go now, as you can't get tackled in bounds here. And that's exactly what happens. They get the snap off with 1 second to go, but end zone pass will be incomplete, and they will go down. I really feel like they fumbled that one. LSU is back in the national championship, and they are looking for number 2. We will start things off with a flag down, a roughing the passer after an LSU big play. We'll set him up at the 38-yard line after a 4-yard loss on first down, and it's an interception. So even though you will allow a big play, roughing the passer, defense comes up big for Utah with the interception in this 1-score game. 7 minutes to go as they swing it outside. First down and 1 extra yard on top of it for Utah at the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 5. He'll throw on the run. It's incomplete. 2 guys fighting for it. No one came up with it. Now LSU really in control here with the lead. A first down run has the big chance to go up by 2 scores. 3rd down and 9 though, and they will convert on the screen. Looked a little scary for a second there, but they will have it, and they're running out the clock very effectively. I mean, this team is converting 3rd down after 3rd down. We're already at the 2-minute warning, and it's 1st and 10. Handoff right up the middle. That's another first down. And Utah, are they even going to see the football again? They will allow another first down on the ground, and LSU takes the football with 5 minutes to go and doesn't even and let Utah see it again. Maybe not the most exciting way to go about it, but effective nonetheless. Even though LSU did not win their conference and didn't even make the conference championship, well, look who it is standing on top when it's all said and done. It is LSU with championship number 2, and they send a bunch of players to the NFL, as does Miami. But LSU now, 2 championships. It's going to be tough to have another team come out on top here because they need, Oregon or Ohio State or one of these other teams to try to get number 2. Though there is a lot of other factors to where I could see a world in which a team that doesn't win 2 national championships, maybe they win 1 and they beat out a team that wins 2, Heisman winners, for example. I mean, Minnesota's got 2 Heisman winners. If they go and win a national championship with the amount of conference championships that they've been in, if they could figure out how to win these big games, maybe they have a chance. About North Dakota State at 12-0, it seems like we have had a number of seasons where we see somebody go undefeated in the regular season, which is kind of surprising with this conference. I know the teams are talented, but, because everyone's so talented, it's hard to go and win all of your games in a season, as Miami will score a touchdown there, as they are one of the better teams that we've seen in this video. Their recruiting classes have been nuts. We'll get to those when we finally wrap things up. The final stats are a little crazy for these guys, but 28-21 is your score as he goes to the edge for a first down. And now North Dakota State in enemy territory looking for the tie. Another run play as he will cut to the inside for a first down gain, and they are running it very well. How about staying on the ground? It's working, and he's still got time to go for it. As there's first down and 10, he's going to tuck, he's going to run it, and you're going to be able to go all the way to the end zone. 23-yard scramble. The run game was incredible there, but because it was so good, you left them time. Miami's quarterback, he stayed on his feet but got sacked, and North Dakota State now at 3-0, but they completely fumble the opportunity. Interception. Miami has it right back and in even better field position. This time, no sack. He's going to throw the comeback route for the first down. And with 20 seconds to play to the edge, they're going to stop them, but they're out of timeouts. And it is going to result in the clock ticking down to 0. And a field goal try for Miami to win the conference is good. And North Dakota State will be on to the playoffs, but it will not be in a first-round bye. Meanwhile, Miami gets their 11th win, first-round bye for them. We have other teams like James Madison and Michigan in the playoffs as we stick with North Dakota State, who's taking on TCU, and a 9-3 TCU team. We got to shake off that conference championship loss and go lock back in because North Dakota State's had some flashes of good play throughout this video. They've not been one of these, in the background teams. They've been pretty good at points. They just need to break through, and that is the hardest thing to do in a video like this, is to break through. Touchdown there, as all you need is one chance to get to a national title. And I think if you come out on top in this conference, if you're the last one standing in this conference, pretty good chance you can go and win a national championship. TCU, though, with the football getting it knocked away incomplete, is going to be North Dakota State football after the punt, and they will have a strike over the middle for the first down, and he is not going down as easily, but at the 34-yard line they go. Flown one deep, incomplete. It's going to be a long kick from here. 51 yards for the 7-point lead. It is good. So TCU now, things get a little scary when we have to show a kick return. Well, something's going to happen here. I wouldn't be showing this for no reason, as that's a fumble! Big hit and recovered by North Dakota State, and that is going to result in a touchdown off the short field, and TCU's special teams might have absolutely, literally and figuratively dropped the ball on this one, as North Dakota State has just got to hold on for 2 more minutes, dealt by 2 touchdowns, 4th down and 6. Basically your game here. You got to play a perfect one from here on out. You get the first down, and TCU at the 2-minute warning. They are running out of time, but they have their timeouts. As long as you can hold on to them and score pretty quickly, and you're going to score pretty quickly if you get a big play like that all the way to the 10-yard line and get out of bounds. End zone touchdown. And they have all their timeouts, like I said. Maybe curious, though, that they did not kick the onside kick. I know the odds are low, but it is hard to go and get a 3 and out. But they are on the verge of doing just that. But on 3rd down, you don't get the stop, so that is going to be game. In situations like that, I would like to see the game, maybe opt to kick the onside kick a little bit more. Meanwhile, we hop over to Michigan, who gets beat down 45-20 over Kansas State. So Michigan goes one and done there, and we jump to James Madison, who has been kind of on that playoff bubble as well, not yet been able to really have their breakthrough season, as this could be their year to do it, as they're up on Tulane 24-21, but Tulane's got the football, broken tackle there, but he'll still get stopped for a 2-yard loss. We jump to third down after an incompletion, so third down and 12. He's scrambling, he's getting hit, throws the football away, and from the 42-yard line, they do punt, no 59-yard field goal try for the tie, as it'll be James Madison football. They'll go 3 and out, so back to Tulane we go with 5 to play, as the slant routes got the first down, and they're right back where they were at the 42-yard line. Jump to third down and 4. That's going to be caught over the middle. He hung on 2 defenders hitting him. First and 10, right down the middle. That's caught into the red zone at the 13-yard line. Jump to second and 5 from the 8. He'll go to the goal line, caught at the 1, as now they got to punch it in. 1 yard out, touchdown Tulane. And they got the lead with 2.5 to play. James Madison needing a touchdown to try and get themselves to the next round. That's going to be a nice way to go about it with a 21-yard check down and catch and run for a first, third down and 3, as that's going to be almost picked off. Now 4th down and 3. They're going to run it, and it gets blown up in the backfield. Tulane takes over. Now their turn to try to put the game away, and it's going to be caught. Tulane wins it, and that is unfortunate for James Madison, but Tulane moves on, and we'll stick with Tulane, I suppose, because they got another tough matchup ahead of them. It's going to be conference champion Miami in the second round, and unfortunately for them, Miami is going to be getting to play the game in their home stadium, as it's going to be a first down grab inside the 20-yard line as they go play action now. He's going to step up, he's going to break through a sack, he's going to bump off a defender, he's going to run all the way to the end zone and down at the 1-yard line, as that was a fun play from the quarterback. They punch it in on the next play, and that is going to be a Miami 2-score lead. 2-point conversion is going to result in a flag, and he didn't get it, so all around bad, but I mean, at least that happened on the 2-point conversion off the goal line. It's going to still be a 2-touchdown game, 27-15, as Tulane with 3.5 to go has got a lot they have to do to try to make a comeback in this one, or else Miami could be headed to the semifinals. Deep ball, Tulane got it, and that's going to be a huge help for them if they could score before the 2-minute warning. 25 seconds to go until then, as they'll tuck and try to run for a goal to go, and he's got the touchdown. Now we'll see if Miami can put the game away here. Second down and 8, under 2 minutes to go, as Tulane's going to start to use their timeouts. Third down and 5. Basically, your game here is they'll throw over the middle. That's a first down, and Tulane does not get the job done as Miami moves on. We got another opponent here for North Dakota State in their bid to try to move on to the semifinals, as it's them and Oklahoma State, and a tie game 10-10, but it's goal to go, and he's getting sacked. So North Dakota State will not get a touchdown, but they will get a field goal, and it will be a lead for them as it takes over with Oklahoma State right up the seam on the RPO. Good play there, and with 5:20 to play action. He'll throw, but he's got pressure and a sack. It's going to turn to second and 19 with under 5 to go. Throw outside. It was a little bit of a wobbler, but it's going to set up third down and 7 with 4.5 to go, as they'll throw outside right up the sidelines. He's wide open. No one was even near him. They got all the way to the 26-yard line. That's a first down and a whole lot more in position to tie this game up as they get sacked again. But like I said, still in position to tie it as long as you don't do anything stupid like that, potentially. You almost let a defensive lineman get a tipped interception. Though it'll just be an incomplete pass and a field goal that will be good. So it's 13-13 with 3 minutes to play. Throw outside for the first down is going to be caught. North Dakota State going to start driving this one. Deep ball, and that's going to be caught. The defender just whipped. Did it go through his hands? He just straight up missed it. And that might cost them the whole game, because it could have been a pick. Could have at least been just an incomplete pass. And now North Dakota State is going to be set up. They don't get the touchdown. They don't run enough time off, but they will get a field goal, so it's still going to be a costly mistake. Oklahoma State now needs to recover. Down by 3 with a minute to go, and the quarterback's going to scramble for a gain of 16. Timeout used. They got 1 left. As he'll step up, he'll throw, avoiding the sack, and he'll get a big play. Maybe 10 yards out from a potential overtime attempt, as they will get 10 yards and more. How about 16 on the play? 55 seconds. Now you're thinking about the win, as a slant route's going to be caught over the middle. They'll just kick the field goal, and it will be good. So they maybe could have taken a shot or two at the end zone, didn't want to do it, didn't want to risk a sack with no timeouts, as it'll be Oklahoma State taking over the football first in overtime. Quick pass underneath, going to be caught, 4th down and 1 from the 3. They will kick it. I would love to see one of these teams one of these days go for a situation like that, but now North Dakota State can win it with a touchdown. A stiff arm to the edge is going to get them a 1st down run, gain of 13, as we go with a little QB run that gets stopped in the backfield, losing yards. We're going to 3rd and 12, and they'll run it, and I guess they're going to be content with going just the double overtime. Field goal on its way. It is good. Double overtime is North Dakota State football first as they'll throw. End zone! Touchdown! And now Oklahoma State going to need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion after it's good for North Dakota State. And now Oklahoma State will one play! It took them 1 try, but they still need the 2-point conversion to take it to a shootout. He's going to find his way through. It looked like the bull rush was going to get him, but now we're on to a shootout as there's a flag down on the first 2-point conversion try. It didn't look like he got in anyway, but regardless, it wouldn't have mattered holding, as it is going to now be chance to end it here. North Dakota State does just that. They're going to the semifinals, and maybe this is their year as we move. North Dakota State, Miami, one of these two teams guaranteed a national championship appearance, and could it be an opportunity for North Dakota State to get that championship on the board? Or will it be Miami doing what they do with all their talented players in the roster? They've consistently had one of the most talented teams throughout the entire video, and now they're up by 2 scores. 31-21 is your score with 7 minutes to play, so still a lot of time for something to happen as North Dakota State. That's a wide open man. He's got a blocker out in front, but I don't think one blocker is going to help you break through 5 tackles, as now 3rd down and 12. The other side is going to be a screen, and he's going to get just enough. Wow, that's great effort there. Fought for the 1st down, and they're going to keep their drive going, and that's a broken tackle on the check down. And North Dakota State, great effort here. Still need to get points on the board. 3rd down and 9. Another screen set up. They got blockers, but he gets tackled shy. 3rd down turns to 4th down, and a field goal try is going to knock it through for a 1-score deficit with 4 minutes to play. Now with a chance to get a 3 and out, Miami's quarterback's going to scramble for a 1st down, and Miami, can they make sure that this team doesn't touch the football again? Well, they're going to touch the football, but it's not for the reasons they want. Look at the speed. Touchdown, Miami. And North Dakota State back down by 2 scores. Too many screens. 1 too many there. 4th down and 14. Game on the line. That's going to be tipped and right into his hands. Intercepted. Miami's going to a national championship. With how talented some of these teams are and how much time we have left, we still got a couple of years under our belt to go. It could be a team like Miami, or could have been a team like North Dakota State, where I wouldn't have been surprised if they ripped off 2 championships in a couple of years span. But Miami now taking on Kansas State, it's a rough situation for them as they are down by 10, 4th down and 10 with 5 minutes to play, as we could be ending this thing early. But Miami, what a play. That's a huge one to get them to goal to go, and cutting it down to a 1-score game with the touchdown there, as it's 24-21. And play action. Kansas State gonna try to roll, and he's getting sacked. That's a loss of 10. They'll get a couple of yards back on 2nd down, but it's gonna be 3rd down and 14. Tucking and running. He's gonna go for the marker and get stopped shy, and he will have to lead his offense off the field for a punt as Miami takes over in a 3-point game and could be on the road to making this 10-point comeback, as they got a slant route into enemy territory. 1st down, 2-minute warning has hit as they will throw. And he's going to have time and find an open man. Strike down the middle of the 18 as it's 3rd down and inches now. And that's going to be incomplete. 4th down and inches. They'll kick the field goal for the tie. That's a situation where I'm like, man, you could have gone for it there. 20 seconds to go, though, as we could be heading to overtime. But Kansas State is going to get a timeout. 13 seconds to go as they'll throw underneath. That's going to be a broken tackle, and he's to about midfield, but there's 7 seconds to go. I think they're going to load up and try a Hail Mary. Hit as he's thrown up in the air. It's incomplete, but there's a flag down. There's a flag. Pass interference on the Hail Mary as time expires. Basically, there's 1 second to go, and they accepted, and that's going to put them into field goal range. Are you kidding me? For the national title, are the referees just going to hand them a title kick? Is good. The referees did not just hand this team a national championship. calling pass interference on a Hail Mary is some diabolical work, and not only doing that, but doing that in a spot where that 15 yards gives them field goal range is unbelievable. That is ridiculous refereeing right there. I don't know how much money they had on Kansas State for that one, but that is ridiculous. Miami, I won't say they got robbed because we don't know if they would have won in the ensuing overtime, but they got robbed of at least an opportunity to get to overtime against a Kansas State team that, I mean, they had the momentum, 10-point comeback. Everything was looking all Miami. If they would have went to overtime, I don't know. I think Miami would have been probably the favorite there, but that's unfortunate for them, and that could ultimately cost them their chance to win this video, because you need 2 national championships potentially to catch LSU. And now next season, 6-6, they fell off hard. And look who is showing up. Alabama's here, and they're going to be taking on UTSA. So Alabama, I said it earlier, they've been pretty quiet this video, and we'll see if they can finally make their presence known. Right now, the situation is 8 minutes to play and a 3-point game as Alabama on defense looking to stop UTSA. It's 3rd down and 7 as he will fly one over the middle. And how did he hang on to that one? That was 2 defenders basically sandwiching him, but this time the defense comes up with the big play, intercepted in the end zone. And UTSA, that's a costly mistake with 6.5 to go. That's a diving swap that it looked like it was going to be made, but somehow the receiver brought that one in. So a couple of impressive plays from the receivers as that one's going to be hung on. And I think he was still on his feet there. Like, I don't think he actually went down, but they called him down. I guess they said his knee was touching the ground at some point, but I really don't know. I think Alabama might have got robbed there. I don't think it matters because Alabama's going to punch it in for a touchdown regardless. I was sitting there just confused talking through that big scramble, but that was a weird play. That doesn't usually happen as we take over with Alabama up by 4 and UTSA with the football with 3 minutes to play, and they're getting sacked, loss of 7. They'll get 2 more yards to get it to 3rd and 15 as they throw middle, caught, hung on to 4th and 2. 2 minutes to play, blitz sent in, they beat the blitz, broken tackle, and he's on the run to the 45-yard line. They'll get brought down to the 44, 1st and 10 as pressure gets in, he gets sacked again. As we got 1.5 minutes to go, 2nd and 15. He's getting pressured. The offensive line's not doing a great job, but I think it's more so the quarterback's inability to navigate the pocket well. That should have been a pick there. And now it's 4th and 20. Basically, game on the line here as he's throwing it down the field. And that was a quadruple even coverage. Not good decision making there. The quarterback kind of sold that last drive as Alabama, big play, 1 broken tackle, and a 43-yard rushing touchdown to seal the deal. Alabama wins the conference and they win the Heisman Trophy. Wide receiver goes and gets 1,300 yards and 18 touchdowns. 18 touchdowns on just 67 catches is pretty crazy. So, got a couple of teams in the playoffs here. But we start with UTSA, the conference championship losers, but they're taking on Ohio State. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Ohio State get in the playoff mix. But, I mean, anytime that they've made the playoffs, they went out there, they've done their thing, made it pretty far. They've won a national championship. They've made a national championship. But we got a flag down here as Ohio State is up 18-14. That's going to be a hold on UTSA. Back them up. 3rd down and 14 as he's getting sacked. And UTSA, they were not dealing with the pressure all that well as Ohio State gets the football back, and 1 read option takes him to the 42-yard line as we go with another handoff to the edge. Running back's got room, and he's all the way inside the 20-yard line, gain of 23 as the 4 minutes to play. RPO, quick pass to the tight end, and the defender just missed. It wasn't even like bad angle or anything. He just straight up missed him, and then the speed option for the touchdown. Ohio State up by 2 scores. UTSA is making a lot of just bad mistakes in these last 2 games, as that's just another throw into triple coverage. I mean, what are you expecting? Who is this quarterback throwing it into like double coverage there? This guy is awful. Oh my goodness. You don't see this many bad decisions thrown. Like, most of the time, the quarterbacks are just too scared to throw. This dude is a little too brave just be throwing it. I think he might be a little colorblind or something, as he's going to get the football back off a missed field goal. But there's just not a lot to really talk about here as he finally hits a big play. But there's just 1 minute to go, no timeouts, and you're down by 11, so you're relying on that onside kick. But you're thrown into double coverage again, 4th down and 10. They're kicking the field goal first, so not a bad decision as you do cut it to a 1-score game, but you need the onside kick. And Ohio State, that was a dangerous play, but it does not cost them. Wow. You gotta really watch out when you're going up for the onside kicks like that. Now we jump to Minnesota, and yeah, it's just not happening for these guys. Another playoff loss. This one, 34-17. I mean, they just haven't been able to get it done. It's frustrating when there's teams like that, and I guess anyone rooting for Minnesota in this video is not too happy, but we got Ole Miss out here scoring a touchdown. Alabama right now, conference champions, but they're down by 12, and they're going to chuck one deep, and he's got a heck of an arm, but it's not going to be far enough. 4th down and 9, going for it, and that ball's intercepted. Ole Miss taking it, and now Ole Miss could go up by 3 scores in this one, so it's looking a little rough because Alabama entered this 4th quarter in a 1-score game, but Ole Miss in just 2 to 3 minutes, well, here they are up by 3 scores, and it's basically going to be your game with another interception. Alabama goes down, and it has been a rough ride for some of these teams in the playoffs, but we still have Ohio State alive against North Texas, and it is a very low-scoring game. 8 minutes to play. 7-3 is your score, and Ohio State finally looking to get into the end zone here from the 6-yard line, handing it off. He's going to get to the 1st down marker, not quite the end zone, but it's going to be a Wildcat package, and the fake. He's going to get to the edge. He stays on his feet, and that's a touchdown for Ohio State. Now they finally get into the end zone, but North Texas with the football back in a 3-point deficit, 6 minutes to play. 2nd and 7 as he will drop and throw an interception right to the linebacker, and he's got it, taking it the other way. I just guess he didn't see him there as he stepped in front, and now Ohio State has got it in the red zone immediately again. And for a team that couldn't score a touchdown in the first 3 quarters plus, they're going to end up handing it off, and maybe in the span of about 3 minutes score 2 touchdowns. It's 17-7, and the hopes and dreams of North Texas making a miracle run to the national championship may be over as it's 3rd down and 4. He's throwing it deep. He's got a man, and that is just great defense there by the safety to come over. 4th down and 4. There's a flag down. He converted, but it's looking like it's going to be on Ohio State, so North Texas got a little save there, as I was a little worried that might have been like a holding to set them back, but they're still alive in this one, in field goal range, so they can settle for the field goal. Probably want the touchdown first, as I don't know how much you're trusting Ohio State to stay off the scoreboard now with how hot they've gotten, and now it's 1st and goal from the 4. 3 minutes to play. He's rolling, he's throwing short, he's got it, touchdown, and North Texas is just down by 3. Can they pull this one off, as it would be one heck of an upset, but Ohio State, one big strike has got them for 34 yards, and now play action. And with the 2-minute warning approaching, he throws it down the field. What a grab into the 3-yard line, boxing him out, handing it off. Touchdown. Ohio State is just pouring on the points in the end as North Texas taking a desperation shot deep. Double coverage. It's tipped and intercepted. Ohio State. That's really impressive to go 3+ quarters without scoring a touchdown, and then you go 3 straight possessions in the second half of the 4th quarter and score, and they're looking for another one. Look at the stiff arm and to the edge. Look at the backup running back, make it 4 touchdowns in a row. 4 scores in 6 minutes, and Ohio State is on to the semifinals where they're taking on TCU. I feel like every time Ohio State's made the playoffs, they've at least gone to the semifinals or national championship. It's just they haven't made the playoffs that often. And, in this video, teams, you get maybe 4 playoff opportunities, 5 depending on the school if you're really consistently good every year. So maybe only 1 out of every 3 years you're making the playoffs, and Ohio State is one of the teams that's making the most of it when they get their chances, and another semifinals appearance for them. They're going to have among the most playoff victories, I think, by the end of things, especially if they get another run at it, another try at it, as 3rd down and 2. Things are not looking good for Ohio State right now, and I've been hyping them up and everything, but they're down by 14 with 5 minutes to play, as it's going to be a screen outside. He's got a block. He's going to get the 1st down and to the 12-yard line, just looking to score to get it to a 1-score game, and the RPO is going to do just that. Touchdown. And Ohio State's chopped it down to a 7-point deficit as TCU takes it over. Still 4 minutes to play, and the 1st down run is going to allow them to chew some more time off the clock as he will throw, but he'll get sacked. Pressure got in there, and it's 3rd and 13. Blitz sent in. The screen set up, but the blitz beat the screen. It's a sack, and Ohio State's got the football with 2 minutes to go, and they have great field position, and a big play sets them to the 24-yard line, and a 14-point comeback could be on its way, and just like that, tie game. And wow, Ohio State is just able to just hit a spark right at the end of the game to do incredible things. I mean, 4 scores to close the last game, 2 back-to-back touchdowns here, and again, they have already eclipsed their point total from the other 3 quarters combined. And with that big sack, Ohio State's going to take it to overtime. So we got overtime in a 14-point comeback. Ohio State got the momentum, but TCU's got the football with a first down grab, 14 yards as they will throw. Quick slant, touchdown, and Ohio State needing to respond. The offense has caught fire at the end of both games, as this time around it's swatted away, 3rd down and 10. You got 2 tries left to get the first down to make it 1. You got to go 16 yards, 4th down to throw, and he's going to look and get sacked. Ohio State goes down, and just when it looked like the momentum was all on their side and things were going to be a-okay for them, 14-point comeback, it just does not go their way in overtime as the offense stalls out. So maybe for Ohio State, the improvement they need to make is figure out how to score in the first 3 quarters, and then maybe you won't have to be in those situations in the 4th quarter and or overtime. But another successful playoff run, I think, overall for Ohio State getting to the semifinals, as, like I said, they just capitalize on their opportunities more so than a lot of other teams. I'm looking at you, Minnesota. I'm looking at you, like, some of these other teams that just go, like, one and done. And we have, I mean, Ohio State also just stinking it up in recruiting sometimes. It's weird how that happens. But look at LSU. I don't know if you caught that, but I don't know what the highest overall teams you see are. But for me, it's very rare to see a team that good. 94 overall defense is crazy. I usually will see like 90, 91. I see 92. Very rarely do you see 93. I don't ever see 94 as they started off, and that is a 94 overall defense with a tipped interception. It's 24-14, and this LSU team, they're 12-0, number 1 seed, and it is looking like this could be the best year of LSU, and they already got national championships on their resume. So if LSU goes out here and wins another title, I don't know what's going to happen here, because it's hard for me to make an argument for anybody else winning if they win another national title, as James Madison is looking to knock them off their perch and make it hard for them to get to that national title, as that's going to be a big play and a touchdown, 58 yards to cut it down to a 1-score game. But LSU, with 4.5 to play, is going to try to get into clock control offense. I mean, for as good as a 94 overall defense is, I'm not even going to ignore the fact that they have a 90 overall offense. They're a really good offense, too. And they're running it all the way to the 34-yard line. Play action. He's going to throw. Middle caught. He'll find his way into the red zone inside the 15-yard line. And LSU threatening to get that 2-score lead. Read option. Gets a block. Got the first down to the 1-yard line. And things could be all over here with the touchdown. LSU for 2-score lead and under 2 minutes to play. Defense just needs to shut them down, and that's a sack. Make it 4th and 17, as this will be their last opportunity. He's going to run for it, but he's not going to get there. LSU 13-0 conference championship, and we got a pretty sizable number of teams in the playoffs here, and we see even a first playoff appearance from Villanova getting involved. Miami is here. James Madison, they're taking each other on. It's 17-7, and Miami in trouble right now, as they were really close to grabbing that national championship just a few years back and were not able to do it. And they're looking to try to get back on the board once more. But in order for that to happen, they need to make a 10-point comeback here. And it's 4th and 18 right now with 4 minutes to play. They'll take a shot down the field. It's incomplete. And this one could be all over, as James Madison, I mean, again, one of those teams that they've popped up in the first round a couple of times. Them, North Dakota State, Minnesota. We've had a couple of other teams get some first-round opportunities, and it just hasn't gone their way. Sometimes they'll win, sometimes they'll get to the second round, but then, stall out. But I mean, if James Madison can come up big here, get this stop, 2 minutes to play, still up by 10, and that's a big play, as they had all the time in the world, just couldn't get the pressure in. And with 2 minutes to go, it's going to be Miami still down by 10, but now flowing one back in the end zone. That's going to be caught. What a throw! And this game is not over quite yet. You sweep into the outside. Miami stopped them for a loss. 3rd down and 8. 2 minutes to go. Game on the line, and he's going to try to run for it, but he's not going to get there. Miami gets the football back. 3-point deficit with no timeouts, and a shot to a wide open. That was one of the most wide open receivers you will see. Touchdown Miami, and just like that, how has this happened? Just a minute ago, it was a 10-point deficit. And James Madison, that's what I mean with some of these teams getting a chance, and then they just stall out in these big moments as they are just, I guess they're just not built for it. I mean, maybe you should predict that with a team that just doesn't have as much, you know, lineage and championship experience as a team like Miami, who gets the fumble, picking it up, and that is just brutal. As we go to the next game, it's going to be Oregon 41-6 over Northwestern. I feel like not many teams go and get blowouts in their playoff games, but Oregon, LSU, typically those teams that go ahead and do that. I think Ohio State's had one, but, you know, it's been not a lot of blowouts. I would have thought there'd be a lot more, considering we get like 5 teams in the playoffs like every single season. As we go ahead to see Villanova, they've been a team that's been kind of just in the depths of the conference. I mean, they haven't been like bottom of the conference. They haven't been like Arizona. They've made bowl games. They've kind of, you know, been in the mix in the middle of the conference, but finally getting an opportunity in the playoffs. They get a big interception in the end zone here with 5 minutes to play, just under that, as they're going to get a big first down. It's 24-17. As with a couple more first downs, they could seal the deal, but they're throwing a pick. That is just the worst outcome you could have had there, because you set them up at the 36-yard line in a spot to try to tie this game with plenty of time to go. It's 4th down and inches, though, so can he get off the field? And no, they will not. It's a wide open man in the flats, and it will be to the 18-yard line with just about 2 minutes to play. End zone. He's going to get stopped at the 1-yard line, but he did hang on, as now it'll be to the 1-yard line again. 3rd down and goal. Can this defense pull off a huge stop? Throwing out of bounds. Can it be 4 straight from the 1-yard line? Handing it off. No, it cannot. It's already impressive enough to stop him on the 1-yard line 3 straight times, but a 4th straight time was just too much, as Villanova, with a minute to play, is going to slide ahead for a big run. They can get into field goal range here, as there's a flag down. That I even seen that holding from all the way just spectating. That was a very blatant hold down there, as that's going to lead them to go to overtime. They just kind of ran the clock out with that big, yards to go. They didn't want to even give Ole Miss a chance with the football back, but we're in overtime, as Villanova will throw for the end zone. Touchdown right at the goal line, and it's going to be up to Ole Miss to try to extend this one once again. Diving deflection there. It's 4th down and 7, and can Villanova get a playoff victory? It's not going to happen just yet. 10-yard line, as they will send the blitz from the edge. It's a flag down, and they'll throw the football away, and the flag is going to be on Ole Miss, so this could be it for them. I mean, that's going to back them up. 1st down and 20, as they will get pressured. He breaks out of the sack. He doesn't break out of 2, though, but he loses his 10. It's 2nd down and 30, as they'll throw middle. That's caught, and 2nd and 30 turns to 3rd and 8, so you know, they got back to a spot where it's a little bit more manageable. Throwing to the end zone, wide open, touchdown, as that's going to be a 31-31 game, with Ole Miss getting another try on offense. This time the dig screen's going to get them the first down, as they're looking to strike first and play action. He gets sacked. 3rd down and 12, and they could be settling for a field goal as they go play action again. They're going to roll. He's going to get hit. He goes down, and the field goal try is going to be up and good, and this means we can end things here. Villanova can win it with a touchdown, as they are not even going to come close, as they go 3 and out. They ran the football on 3rd down. They settle for a field goal. So we're on to a 2-point conversion shootout, as Villanova has it right over a receiver's head. That was open, as now Ole Miss, that was open too, and this time they hit it, and Ole Miss wins the game. That was just, that was rough to watch at the end there. I mean, you're running on 3rd down and 8, and they just fumbled that opportunity. Speaking of fumbling opportunities, Miami gets smacked around by NC State 34-14, and we will be moving on to our next team, which is LSU. They are 13-0, like I said, with that incredible defense. Well, the incredible defense is doing their job. It's 10-7. The problem is the offense isn't putting up enough points, but Ole Miss, they already took out one of our teams. Can they take out a second one, as they go right up the middle with the read option, and LSU for the first down? Now the offense is finally starting to move a little bit, but it's 3rd down and 12, and they will take the check down, but the defender missed, and that should have been a 4th down opportunity for the defense to get off the field there with a field goal try. Instead, LSU is going to scramble, and he's going to get down to the 1, and they are not going to go for it on 4th and 1. I would have definitely tried to go for it there to try to get the 2-score lead, but Ole Miss is going to have a 6-point deficit I also can't blame you for trusting your defense because they've only allowed 7 points, and you got maybe the best defense in the nation there. As 2 minutes to play, Ole Miss throwing. They're going to float one up top. He's got a step, and he's got it, and he's on the run down the sidelines. Touchdown! And a great throw, and just a step was all he needed. 3rd down and 9. That's going to be caught. A minute to play. They burned a timeout, and just 50 seconds to go. It's over the middle. It's intercepted. Are you kidding me? LSU, are you serious? They lose after that regular season with that team. They lose their first game. Now we head over to Oregon, who is going to have a big run there. A nice job from the running back, staying on his feet. Touchdown. And that is going to be 21-7 over West Virginia. And Ole Miss right now is going to be waiting for the winner of this game. And Oregon seems to be our hope right now to, if we want to see a team make the national championship from this conference this year, it's going to be down to these guys, as West Virginia is, not looking too good right now, down by 2 scores, but there's still 6.5 minutes to go, and they are driving inside the 30-yard line. They will throw it, and he will go outside, caught, and inside the 10-yard line. Their quarterback just hit 100 yards. He's got 0 touchdowns and 2 picks on the day. Rough day for him, but the Oregon defense has been doing their thing, as the run game will do their thing, punch it into the end zone, and they got it down to just a 1-score game. 5 minutes to play. Oregon's running back with the juke to the outside, and he will get to the edge for a 13-yard gain as they jump ahead to 2nd and 6. Run game again gets the first down. Oregon's starting to string together some first downs. It's now 3rd down and 6. They got another conversion in them. The dig screen is going to be close. They say no. West Virginia gets the football back on the punt and will throw one deep on their first play, and that's going to be caught. What a grab along the sidelines. That is incredible, and they are now finding themselves at the 32-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go, looking for that comeback, as that's going to be a great grab as well. West Virginia, can they pull this one off? That would be incredible if they did, as they're inside the 5, down to the 3, under 2 to go, handing it off. He's in for the touchdown. It's tied up. Oregon doesn't know what hit him, but they got to respond with something in there, right up a seam, the dagger to the middle of the field, and they have another big play, and this is just typical Oregon stuff. You get a little excited for a second thinking that they're going to go and lose this game, but Oregon is going to be able to run out the rest of this clock, kick a field goal. It'll be through the uprights, and that will be the game. Oregon just manages to always come up big at the end of the game, and they will be taking on Ole Miss, who, I mean, I don't know what's going on with this Ole Miss team. They've taken out Villanova in the overtime game. Then they go and pull off a massive upset against LSU. And now, with 4 minutes to play, they're tying the game with a field goal against Oregon. If they go and wreck 3 straight teams in our conference, and they wreck their playoff dreams and hopes, that'd be crazy. 3rd down and 3. Oregon tipped ball. The Titan wasn't ready for that. What is going on here? Ole Miss gets the football back as 2 minutes to play. That's going to be a first down grab, and Ole Miss drives down and gets a field goal, but I guess I won't speak about no field goals. Ole Miss, I was talking about 3. How about 7? 70 yards, 7 points on the board, a 7-point deficit for number 7 of the Oregon offense to kind of come back from, and he gets sacked. Well, you got something here on 2nd and 21 from your own 4-yard line, as he'll throw one, leaning, fading away, but he's got him, and that's a crazy throw. That ball went like 70 yards in the air, and he gets sacked on the next play. That's a crazy arm. 3rd and 16. He's throwing middle. That's going to set up 4th down and manageable 4th down and 3, as they will throw with the game on the line. He's got time. He's going to go to the outside. Open man. It's a touchdown. No, it's right at the 1-yard line. It looked like he got in, as now at the 1-yard line. Oregon looking. He gets sacked. I thought he was into the end zone, and now all of a sudden you get sacked. You got to hurry back to the line, and it's 7 yards out. 3rd down. Are you going to spike the football? They are. I don't know if I would have spiked it there, but now you leave yourself a 1 play to go, and he's going to try to get it, and he's not going to get past even the line of scrimmage. He loses it, and Ole Miss then goes and finishes the job with the national championship. That is ridiculous, because it looked so much like that he got in. He was going to get in. The defense holds him out, and then from the 1-yard line, you stop him. And then Ole Miss, man, like, that was a crazy year. You go and beat all 3 of our teams, and then you go and just smash Georgia in the national championship. I really hope you don't got to run into Ole Miss again, but That's unfortunate for everybody involved, but I can't even really fault anyone too much more than the other because they all lost Ole Miss as we go into the next season, where we see Ohio State, man. What's going on with these guys? They figure out how to recruit, as Oregon #1, LSU #2. We got also just in general 4 of the top 6 teams. James Madison's going to be on the bubble, and it looks like everybody else is going to be out. But how about a top showdown? Oregon versus LSU. 27-24 is your score with 7 minutes to play, as they will throw, and it will be Oregon football in good field position. That ball is going to be swatted away. They'll have to pump the football away, and LSU with it. Play action, he gets sacked, as that's going to be a loss, and they'll get some of those yards back. It'll be 3rd down and 9. He'll knock it to the marker. Oregon takes over, so the defenses each getting a stop there, as Oregon's running back will turn the corner for a nice run. There's been a lot of rushing success, but that is a nice run there, as they'll throw on the run and hit his receiver in between a couple of defenders. Now 3rd down and 6, and the speed option, you couldn't even get the pitch off, and you got to settle for a field goal, but I think you'll be okay with that as long as it goes through. It does tie game, and we are on to just under 3 minutes to play in a tie. 27-27 game with the pass over there to a 5-yard gain for a 1st down, and play action now as they'll swing it out to the running back, and he gets blown up. Loss of 3, as now 2-minute warning has hit, and this ball is thrown very well up the sidelines in between the zones, and that's going to put LSU in potential scoring range, especially with that run where he slides inside the opponent 30-yard line. And now with 1 1st down run that he's not quite going to get, you can put up a field goal to kick it through the uprights for the lead. Little time to play, just a minute to go, and no timeouts for Oregon as they get a 1st down grab, 37-yard line. And they'll throw middle. That's going to be caught. He hangs on about midfield. 50 seconds to go. Blitz sent in, and that ball's right out the save, and a touchdown, split in the defense, and Oregon's got the lead, and LSU has got a very small amount of a chance in this one, as especially when they get sacked, fumble the football, Oregon has it, and that is game. Oregon 13-0 on the season. And how about a Heisman Trophy winning receiver who has 70 catches and puts up 27 touchdowns? Are you kidding me? 27 touchdowns in one season receiving, and he didn't even have 100 catches. He didn't even have close to it. Like, what is that? What is even the math on that one? 1 out of every 2.5 catches is a touchdown. 1 every 2 to 3 catches as a touchdown. Like, that is insane ratios there as we go to the playoffs. James Madison did sneak in, and they'll take it on North Dakota State. So it's going to be another playoff appearance for James Madison. Will it be another playoff defeat for James Madison, as they are taking on a team that is on top right now in their home stadium, in the red zone, with the 3-point lead, and they could extend it to at the very least 6, as they will throw, break out of a sack, he'll run for it, he's got it to the marker, and that's a great effort from him to get it into the end zone because of his effort to get that 1st down marker. You like to see a quarterback in that situation not just slide and give up and allow them to, kick the field goal there. He fought for the 1st down, he got it, and that could be what ultimately is the difference. But James Madison trying to make the comeback here, down by 10, 4 minutes to play, and they've already set themselves up at the 25-yard line, as they will get sacked, and it will be 3rd down and 14 with 3.5 to go. Pass outside, that's going to be caught, but I mean, you're going to have to settle for a field goal here, as the kick will be through the uprights. It is good, and now it is a 1-score game with 2 minutes to play. 3 and out and an incomplete pass. That's brutal. So James Madison takes over, and speaking of brutal, about a 3-yard check down loss, and then a screen on 3rd down and 13 where he gets to the outside, and he gets good blocking, and the lane opened up for a massive gain. That is huge. And now on 3rd down and 5, it's an incomplete pass. So all of that could be for nothing if they don't get this 4th down. They will get it, though. They'll be at the 11-yard line with 50 seconds to go. Now we're down to 20 seconds. 3rd down and 1. He is rolling right. He's throwing it out of bounds. It's 4th down and 1. You could run it if you want to, but they spread the field to throw it. It's caught. Touchdown. We're going to overtime. James Madison, can they pull it off? As it's going to be a 3 and out for them. He'll start overtime. They'll kick the field goal. It is good, but North Dakota State can win it with the touchdown here, as they'll throw for a 1st down. It's going to be caught to the 12-yard line, and now at the 12, they'll throw RPO. Caught. He breaks a tackle. He gets to the 1, and they're going to have this one all the way to the end zone for the walk-off touchdown. And even though James Madison was able to pull off the comeback, score that late touchdown, it is going to be North Dakota State getting the victory. So yet another playoff failure for James Madison. And oh boy, look who we got here. Ole Miss, after what they did last season, they're going to be taking on UTSA. I know UTSA's got the lead and the football, and it looks like they got a little bit of help too. Pass interference on Ole Miss, and that's going to help them get a first down. Now we jump to 2nd and 3 from the 35-yard line. They'll swing it outside. He stays in bounds. That was huge, and he's going to get a 10-yard gain because of it. As now at the 25-yard line, could they go up by 2 scores? It's going to be real close because they're inside the 10. Down to the 2 now, a 3rd down and goal. Touchdown UTSA. And Ole Miss, maybe that was just one magical year. I don't think they're going to have a curse to beat all of our teams. As Ole Miss, look at that run, and he wins the other way. Wow, what a run. 68 yards. Touchdown. I spoke too soon, I suppose, because Ole Miss is right back at it. 3-point game, and UTSA's got to do a little bit more to fight them off. As with 4:20 to play, it's going to be at the 42-yard line, caught, and he'll turn to a first down. That was right at the line. They give it to him. 48-yard line to play action, rolling out. He's got time. He's got good blocking. He's got the comeback route for the first of the 30-yard line. As now we're ticking under 4 minutes to play. He's going to throw one, letting it fly for the end zone. Back of the end zone. What a ground touchdown. 2 defenders there, and neither one of them can make the play on it. As now Ole Miss responds with one of their own. Maybe not as impressive, but it's a long play to the 7-yard line. 75 yards and to the end zone. Touchdown Ole Miss. They are just not giving up in this one. It's 34-31, and UTSA, one more big play like that, and it could be all over, and you can maybe make sure that their offense doesn't see the field again, and there is that first down. It's not quite enough to end things off yet, but this one will be enough. UTSA with one more first down ends it. And now we're going to get to go to LSU versus Northwestern, and it is a 12-seed Northwestern team that has kind of been bullied in the playoffs. I feel like a couple of times. Like, I think Oregon just faced them like multiple times, and I know at least recently they smacked them around, but now trying to get an upset over LSU, so working some of that 12-seed magic as LSU looking to try to get back to another national championship, as Northwestern is ready to take the lead here from the 6-yard line. That is going to be a touchdown, and that is a lead. LSU is down, and the 2-point conversion for Northwestern is good, as it's 26-23. Option is going to get stopped. Now it's 4th down. They punt the football, and Northwestern could put the game away here, and they're going to potentially. Look at the big run, and he's all the way down to the 29-yard line. One more first down, and they win this game, and they have it. And just like that, a random stunner. LSU goes down, and it is brutal for LSU the past 2 years. I mean, they have lost 2 games, which they were heavily favored to win. Speaking of heavily favored, I think you'd imagine Georgia would be pretty heavy favorites over UTSA right now, but UTSA is going to get into the end zone for the lead, except we got a flag down. And in a 28-27 game, you could have got that touchdown, 2-point conversion, making a full 7-point game. Instead, you could be looking at a field goal, and they are going to reach for it. He doesn't get it. Back to the 1-yard line they go, though, as they're going to get sacked. I would have liked to see a little review on that play where he reached that ball. He outstretched his arm. I thought he might have had it, but they say no. Instead, they got to take a field goal, as Georgia will have one big play to set them up at the 43-yard line. Now they're in field goal range with another big play to the 21, and 2:40 to go. Handing it off to the edge. Great blocking by the receivers to the 8-yard line, and Georgia moving it with ease. He'll throw, end zone, open man, and a touchdown, as UTSA is down by 5 with 2 to go, and they got to get something going on this drive, as the 2-minute warning has hit 4th down and 4. Can't go 4 and out, and thankfully they will not. Dive and grab over the middle is going to keep this drive alive, and then a shot over the top, and he's outrunning the defense. Touchdown from 64. 2-point conversion for a 3-point lead is no good, but Georgia down now in a 36-35 game. He's gonna get sacked. Loss of a whole bunch as it's 3rd and 22. He's looking, and he's gonna get sacked again. They roll him at the 1-yard line. That could have been a safety. It's 4th and 34, and that ball is gonna be tipped and incomplete. They get the football at the 1-yard line. UTSA punches it in. Touchdown. And now, because of the whole circumstances, though, it's still a one-score game, because I think UTSA could have considered going for 2 here. Instead, it's an 8-point game, touchdown and 2-point conversion will tie it, and that ball should have been picked off. It's 4th down and 1, 30 seconds to go, handing it off, and Georgia to the edge, a handoff just shocked the defense, and Georgia gone, touchdown! They ran it, and they weren't expecting that. 2-point conversion is good, as that is an improbable way to get to overtime. How does 4th down and 30 from your own 1 turn out to help you? As that is going to be a touchdown for UTSA, as they are not looking to lose this game in ridiculous fashion. Georgia needs a touchdown, and they're going to get sacked. How about 2nd and 23 turning to 3rd and 23? They'll throw, letting it fly. He's got a step, touchdown! And how does Georgia keep pulling this one off? It's 50-50, as it's 3rd down and 1 now. Georgia's possession is going to result in a 1st down to the 8-yard line. Goal to go. Pop pass. He's got the edge. He's got the touchdown. And Georgia is going to go for 2 to hand it off. And he gets in 58-50. UTSA, open man. And they need to fight to just take it to a 2-point shootout. How are they even in this spot? 1st and goal. He's sacked. 2nd and goal at the 12-yard line, throwing, and that's it's knocked away. It wouldn't even have mattered that much if it was caught. It was a short gain anyway. 3rd and goal. He's going back of the end zone, throwing away. 4th down and goal for the game. It's knocked away. Are you kidding me? That is a ridiculous way to win a game if you're Georgia. That is one of those rare ones that you're just not going to see very often. How do you have a situation where you are 4th down and 34 at your own 1-yard line, and it honestly worked to their favor because it forced UTSA to score a touchdown by them not getting it, and a touchdown kept it a 1-score game, and they just somehow did everything worked out perfectly. That is ridiculous how that happens. Meanwhile, we jump ahead to this game where it's North Dakota State down by 13 against Houston, as they are, they were able to take down James Madison, the perennial 1st-round losers, but I don't know if you're going to be able to come out here against an opponent that is a little bit more equipped to take you on the big stage and be able to come out with a victory here. North Dakota State, I think they made, one semifinal? That's it. They haven't really gone too far, had too many deep playoff runs, and they're getting sacked there. 3rd down and 6 as opportunities and time is running out, as that pass is going to be caught at the 40-yard line, but you still need to get into the end zone twice with 3 minutes to play, and play action sack. And now you're at a point at which you need something crazy to go your way. You need some really lucky breaks, and they are going to get a big grab. It's going to be 1 yard short, 4th and 1, spreading the field, and it's going to be caught. All right, and he's inside the 10, down to the 5, and the 2-minute warning hasn't hit quite yet, as he'll tuck, he'll run, and he's got the score. I'm not done yet, but Houston, 2 1st downs could end it here. Handoff, and that's going to be 1 1st down. And will they make it 2 at the 2-minute warning? They are going to be 1 timeout to go, and North Dakota State gets the stop. Okay, but they then immediately get sacked. 3rd down and 17 with a minute to go, and that ball's going to be knocked away. Well, now it's 4th down and 17 with a minute to go. He'll take the shot middle. That's going to be an open tight end, wide open to the 40-yard line. You got to hurry it back up, as they will have it with another sack. My goodness, learn to protect. 40 seconds to go. They had to spike the football, so they lose it down. And then on that play, it's incomplete. 47-yard line. They need 17, and they caught 16. That is game. We jump ahead to where Oregon takes down Kentucky 52-10. So let's welcome Oregon back to some primetime action, as they will be moving on to the semifinals with a chance to go to a national championship. Oregon's going to have a chance to win this video. I think they need this. They need this one, as they're going to throw for the 1st down. They're up 21-14, and there's under 7 to play, as that run is going to have a lot of room. No defenders were even in the area, and how about an easy 26-yarder as they set up goal to go? They don't flip out the option. It's 4th down and goal, and good decision here. Take the field goal, take your 2-score lead, and make Stanford have to play with a lot more pressure on them. And speaking of pressure, that's going to be a sack. About 4th and 19 after that one, as they are all the way back in their own end zone, throwing it short, way short of the marker, and that is just not how you Gotta attack Oregon. If you're gonna try to make a comeback on them, that's a fumble, by the way, and Oregon picks it up, so they get the luck on their side with that one. And because of that, they score a touchdown, go up by 3 scores, and cruise to a national championship appearance. And it's against Georgia, so Oregon is up 17-10 with 6 minutes to play, and they got the football, trying to get that national championship. As you would have thought, I think at this point, Oregon would have more in the national championship success, more appearances, more victories, but hey, it's been a tough battle between a lot of these schools to get into the national championship just to get there, because I mean, even though majority of the seasons have had a national championship appearance, with all 20 of these schools battling it out, it's just only left, 1 or 2 tries for a lot of these teams, and Oregon getting another try at it has got a touchdown, and this might be it, as it's 24-10. Georgia has got a completion, but it is pure desperation mode for Georgia in this national title game. They'll throw outside. That's going to be caught, but it's still, clock is running down. You're close to the 2-minute warning. Deep drop. He's got it short. Gets out of bounds. No, he don't get out of bounds. They call it 2-minute warning. So now over the middle. Caught again. Now they're burning timeout. So this is where you get to a point where you got to rely on an onside kick, and you're getting sacked here. Loss of 10. 1:30 to go. As from the 16, another sack. And this is looking like it's an Oregon national championship, but Georgia not done yet. Touchdown, as they have to rely on an onside. Kick is up. It is going to be scooped up by Oregon, and that is going to be one more first down, and they don't have it. 4th down and 2. Oregon, though, they got the next best thing, a field goal to make it a 10-point game. And with that being the circumstances right now, Georgia, I think it's all but over for these guys, but we'll see if they can pull off a miracle. We've seen some crazy things happen already in this video. We've seen walk-off punt return touchdowns, double-digit point comebacks, and things happen, everything in between, as that's going to be incomplete. 4th down and 10. 26 seconds to go as they are looking, throwing it down the field. It's knocked away. Oregon 16-0 in a national championship, and add them to the conversation for these, whatever the final rankings and the final statistics are going to be. You're going to have to include Oregon into that conversation, whether you like it or not, as that is going to be another national championship on the board for one of our teams. And I mean, we're setting records out here for the amount of times we've seen teams win national championships, but we are running out of seasons, and LSU still stands at the top when it comes to national championships, but there's still so much to go through. I mean, when we get to the All-Americans, the recruiting classes, the final tally for all that stuff, there's so much to consider, and it's going to be an exciting final, section of this video. But we're hitting this final stretch as Oregon and LSU are going to be playoff bound, but not conference championship bound. The conference championship will be Alabama and North Dakota State. So North Dakota State's been pretty consistently in the mix, and Alabama all of a sudden maybe having a late run here into some success, as they've had some nice recruiting classes, and now all of a sudden, and when I say nice recruiting classes, I don't mean just like the typical top 10. I mean like they've had some good recruiting classes, like really especially good ones. So for all you Alabama fans, things are not quite over for you yet, as they are going to break out of 1 sack, not 2. Alabama, though, up by 3, 13-10 is your score, as we're playing in a snowy game, as they got the first down in a big play to the 15-yard line. Now we jump ahead. They are at the 5, 3rd down and 1. He's got the first down, goal to go, as under 5 to go, and that's a tip ball that should have been picked. 3rd down. He's tucking, he's running, and that's a 2-score lead for Alabama, as North Dakota State now needs to come up with something here, and that could be exactly what they need. Big play. He gets around the defender, and an 82-yard touchdown. So Alabama drives all the way down the field to make it a 2-score game. In one play, they take it right back. But Alabama, look at the stiff arm. Okay, that's a lot more impressive. 80 yards the other way, and an incredible grab. That's a touchdown right back. So we're back where we were previously, like a minute ago. About 10-point deficit for North Dakota State. I don't know if you got another 70, 80-yard play in you, but you got to do something, as you at least need to get a field goal on this drive. They got a first down there, gain of 13 to the 45-yard line. They will throw outside. grab for another solid gain as they're at the 39-yard line. They're down in 5, wide open, and that is field goal range as the 2-minute warning is approaching. And they will tuck, they will run. He slides down. Maybe could have been a little bit more patient to get a block around the edge, but now 2-minute warning has hit as he will run again, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. And they got their timeouts. They need to stop, but Alabama looking to end it, and they will end it, it seems like. Touchdown for Alabama from 78. That'll be a game where Alabama gets the 1 seed. LSU, Oregon, and North Dakota State also get in. And we stick with Oregon here first, as coming off a recent national championship victory. They're looking for another one, and at this point in the video where you are just so close to the finish line, you're looking for as many playoff victories as you can stockpile, even if it's not resulting in a national championship. That's going to be an interception for Utah, down by 7 at the 34-yard line, but you got to stack up all those playoff wins, those conference championships. Every single one matters when it comes to determining who this ultimate winner is going to be, as they will throw to the outside. That's going to be caught for a short gain, but that's not going to result in a first down. 4th and 1, they go for it, and they get it. Hanging on inside the 5 now, 3rd down and goal. He'll roll, he'll throw on the run, back of the end zone. Touchdown, Utah ties it, as Oregon really can't afford to lose this. Like I said, every win's important, and especially when you are one of those teams with a national championship on the board. You are in the running if you have a national championship, and Oregon, one of those teams. Every single accolade matters, as it is going to result in them running down the clock all the way to 40 seconds, kicking a field goal. It is good. Can they hold Utah for 33 seconds with no timeouts? He'll throw over the middle. That's caught for 23. They'll run back to the line, spike it. There's just 10 seconds to go, though. He'll step up. He'll get sacked, and that is going to do it. You're not going to have enough time to get back to the line. Yeah, they're all the way down the field. That is game. And we will move ahead to North Dakota State, as, man, they've been a team that's made the playoffs. I feel like, you know, by the time we get to the end of this, North Dakota State's going to have among the most playoff appearances. They just haven't had nearly as many wins as some of these other teams. But I guess, like, you have a chance still. Like, they have enough of a resume behind them to where if they win a national championship here, that's, like, they are not a team that's just, like, an out-of-nowhere team. They've been in the running a lot. They just haven't been able to do it. And it's looking like it might not be able to happen this year either. They're down by 10 now. Oklahoma tacks on a field goal, 3 minutes to go. And unless North Dakota State is going to do something crazy here with a 10-point comeback, it's not going to happen. But that's going to be a nice play on 4th down and 1 to help them out with just over 2 minutes to go. They'll throw. 1st down. You're in field goal range. 2-minute warning has hit. 3rd down and 2. And you're getting sacked, so you're going to have to settle for the field goal here. And no, they're not going to kick the field goal. They're throwing an interception. I don't know the logic on that one. If it was like 4th down and 1 or something, I mean, that's ridiculous. Meanwhile, LSU beats down Marshall 34-17, so LSU will be moving on, and we will stick with LSU because how about doubling up on the blowouts? This time 48-3 over NIU. That's a first. What, 2 straight back-to-back blowouts in this one? I don't think that's happened for a team. Maybe it has. It's been a long video. I can't remember every single little detail that's going on. But now we have Oregon versus Alabama, and you know, waiting for LSU in the semifinals will be one of these 2 teams, as Alabama will look to have their first national championship victory. Oregon will look to get another one on their resume, as Alabama is going to have a big play there, and he just barely got caught. It's 10-6. Offense hasn't been very prevalent, but it's going to be on this drive, as they're all the way down to the 14-yard line. Don't want to settle for a field goal here. They've yet to get into the end zone, and they could really use one like that. Touchdown. What a throw. What a grab. And along the sidelines, that's going to be the Alabama lead, as they will throw here for a first down at the 28-yard line. Then they get another 10 yards to make it 2nd and inches, and 2nd and inches turns to 3rd and 7. That is always brutal when that happens, but they will take off and try to run for it. They'll get 3, not a first down though. We'll have to give the ball to Alabama, who is going to have a chance to run this clock out, and with a first down run there, we are going to be headed very much to the 2-minute warning. 3rd down. They will get the stop though. Oregon uses 2 of their timeouts. They have 1:20 to go, 1 timeout in their pocket, and the 3rd down sack is going to make it 4th and 10, so this one could be over already, and they will not get it. 1 yard shy. They go 4 and out. as Alabama versus LSU now for a shot at the national championship. You can see Alabama's quarterback there with that completion, just 79 yards. Defense has been big in this season. 7-7 is your score in the fourth quarter with 6 to go, as it is going to be LSU thrown across his body, and that's going to be an open man. Good job from the quarterback to find him. But LSU, I think for all the other teams involved, they're going to be rooting heavily against them, because if anyone's going to want a chance at this one, they cannot let LSU get another championship on their resume. I mean, even win or lose, just making that many national championship is an accomplishment nonetheless, especially when you have two already on the board as they are driving down to the 5-yard line, backed up to the 7. Quick RPO. That's going to be caught, and a fumble! I don't know, he might have been down, but it's going to be ruled a fumble on the field. Alabama scoops it up and running down the sidelines, running back chasing him. He gets brought down, but Alabama comes up with a massive play, and now they're in control, and offense being as hard as it's been to come by, this is a absolute game changer. How about inside the 10 now, handing it off. He's finding a lane all the way to the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal, read option. They were fooled, and that's a touchdown for Bama to take the lead, 14-7 with under a minute to play. Floating that one over the top. That was almost a crazy one. 4th down and 7 as they get a diving crab. LSU staying alive. Can they pull this one off to get it to overtime? And they're getting sacked. Loss of 13, 30 seconds to play. Play action. He's got pressure. Sacked again. And one more to go with 4th and 29. They just check it down. I don't think you got anything crazy in you there. That's going to be Alabama moving to the national championship. So LSU has been denied, and Alabama has a chance to put themselves in the running with a championship victory. And they have been a pretty hot team at the later stages of this video, and there's still a few years to go after this one. Not many, but if they get on the board here, it could be a very late rally for Alabama to steal this one out from underneath a team like LSU or Oregon or Miami or Ohio State. Any one of the teams with the national championship on their resume, as they're going to get stopped on the draw play. Alabama now going for it on 4th and 7. Could kick a long field goal, but they're not going to, and it's going to make them pay for it because Oklahoma gets the sack, and 4th and 7, that's one of those 50-50 calls. I mean, you could have kicked the field goal to make it a 1-point game. I understand why you're going for 4th and 7, though, not an easy one to convert. They got to trust their defense, though. 3rd down to 4 minutes to play, and he goes to the outside. He can't stay in bounds. It's a gain of 1. 4th and 3, they're going for it, and that is incomplete. Now it's Oklahoma's turn to have a bad 4th down play go against them as Alabama taking over. 3rd down and 11. He's going to scramble. He's going to be met. He's going to try to run through the defender, but he only gets 10. Needs one more. They'll go with the handoff. He's got the 1st down, so they convert this time around. And now 2.5 to go. Play action as they will let it fly down the field. Caught! And touchdown, Alabama! They have the lead in the national championship, and Oklahoma's getting brought down. And it's 2nd and 19. 2-minute warning has hit, and he's getting sacked again. 3rd and 25 from the 3-yard line, and he's got nowhere to go. He got sacked again. Safety, and you gotta be kidding me. This defense is really gonna pull this one off, and Alabama has made things interesting with the flag down and for the game. And that is brutal. How about roughing the passer? Even if they got the stop, it didn't matter. Alabama wins it, and they have really come on strong these last few years. Can Alabama manage this one with, just 2 years to go? Can they manage to steal this video? A national title on the board. They are still a really strong 90 overall team. And we are looking at a squad right now that, I mean, it's Alabama. Like, once they got rolling, it's going to be tough. And they have catapulted themselves into the running, because it's not like they've been bad throughout this video. They just haven't, made the playoffs that much. But, like, they've been getting a lot of, 8-win seasons. And 8-win seasons mean a lot more in this video than they do in others, because if you're not making the conference championship, there's so many teams that just don't, even win 8 games, 7 games, 6 games, 5. I mean, it's a 20-team conference. There's a lot going on here. Alabama's going back to the playoffs. They're not going to the conference championship, though. And one other team that we have here that is looking to maybe steal it from LSU. Miami, they have a national championship on the board. The teams we're looking at are Miami, Oregon, LSU, Alabama, and for some reason, Ohio State's just fallen off. They got a national championship. Ohio State's doing really good in this video. They just haven't done anything in years, and they're not going to do anything this year. They're 6-6, but Miami's one of those teams. I think we're kind of down to maybe 5 teams that can win this video, and Miami and LSU are 2 of them, as Miami with the interception in the end zone, taking it back the other way. He's going to get all the way past midfield, and if Miami can win a conference championship here, that would be huge. But LSU with the interception right back, they take it, and now up by 1, LSU has the football back. A sack from Miami sets them back to 3rd and 15 with 4 to go, as they will throw, rolling, and he will fire one to an open man, wide open, first down, and to the 40-yard line, 3rd down and 8. That's another first down, and Miami needs to come up with something big here on defense. 2-minute warning is approaching, and that's pretty big. Sack, knocking them out of field goal range, potentially 3rd and 19, and that's gonna be a touchdown. Man, Miami almost had that one. If they would have just forced something there, it's still a tight game potentially if you could get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on this drive. We know how hard that's going to be, as they are going to move the chains, it looks like. There you go, first down, broken tackle to the 41-yard line. Minute to play, as they will throw underneath. They're moving it pretty well. There you go, catch and run, get out of bounds. Good job, save that timeout. 45 seconds to go, 3rd and 2. Check down underneath, got the first down, and he's down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal, and it's a touchdown. Miami, can you get the 2-point conversion? They need it bad, and it's a fade route, and it's incomplete. They threw a fade, and it didn't go their way. Onside kick, that ball's loose, but LSU scoops it up and will come out on top. And that was a huge game to determine potentially who could end up winning this one. That conference championship could be a deal breaker, especially if a team like Miami goes and maybe wins the national championship. But right now, Miami, they're stinking it up a bit here in this playoff game. It's 9-3, and they have not been able to put up any points on the board. 3 minutes to go, and a pop pass is going to get to the edge, gets a block, and there you go, Miami, touchdown. They need this one, and they need their defense to come up with the stop and get this victory, as it's 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. They throw middle. That's going to be caught. He breaks a tackle, and he gets free, and he gets more. 16 yards on a play that should have been like a 5-yard gain. A minute 20 to go. That's a sack and a fumble, but Cincinnati jumps on it, and it's 3rd and 22 now, as Miami trying to survive this one. They throw it deep. It's intercepted. Miami comes up with it, and it was a scary one, but they did it. And now we jump to Alabama, who's taking on Kansas. And Alabama, like I said, they are on fire right now. And if they can come out here, get some more playoff success, and maybe even get a national championship again, they can steal this video. Touchdown, Alabama, as they are up by 4, needing this one. It's important for Miami, for Alabama, for Oregon to win these playoff games, and you can't allow plays like that. That's a 68-yarder for a first down to the 22-yard line. He's rolling left into a sack. 7-yard loss, as it's 4:30 to play. Play action. Pressure gets in, and he gets sacked again. 3rd and 29 as they throw, and it's rolling into another sack, fumble, and Alabama's got it. Bama with the chance to seal it. They'll sweep it to the edge. Running back gets a block from the receiver. He's got to land, and look at the average for this Bama running back. 17 carries for 176. He's going crazy, and a check down underneath results in a broken tackle, and he fights for a first down, and Alabama keeps on moving it. They go with a read option. It's a triple option. Pitch it out. Running back to the edge. Touchdown, Bama, and the 2-score lead. Alabama is just on fire right now, and it's scary for every other team, because if they pull this one off, it would be maybe a fitting end to this series for this year, to have it end like this with one of the more improbable, just out of nowhere victories as a flag is down. But Alabama, it looks like they're sealing this one up as they are going to get a holding call. They already got the football in enemy territory. It's 3rd and 20 as they will run, and it will not get them the first down, of course, but they will tack on a field goal in Kansas while it's still a 2-score game. I mean, they need something to go their way. 4th down and 2, we jump ahead. 30 seconds to go, and he's not going to get it. Alabama with the playoff victory. So now we go to Oregon. I said the teams to look out for were Oregon, Alabama, Miami. And all 3 of them have a first-round playoff matchup. 2 have got to win already, and for Oregon, it's up to them to try to take out North Dakota State to get a playoff victory. But North Dakota State, I mean, they're maybe not playing for a victory unless they go all the way and win a national championship, which would really make things interesting. But I think they're just playing spoilers right now as Oregon is going to get pressure and a sack. 3rd and 21. As they will throw, and it will load up and fire one deep. He's got a man, and it's caught! Touchdown! And everyone rooting for Oregon to probably lose this one, except Oregon fans, as they are looking like the best chance to take out LSU. It's a 7-point lead as the run to the edge has got him a nice gain. That's going to be a gain of 16, and now a handoff left side. That's going to get stopped in the backfield. We're on to 4th and 5 after that one as they send the blitz. He gets in! Pressure! Sack! And Oregon's in trouble. Oregon is in big trouble to North Dakota State as they will get the 3 and out. So we got a little bit more of a chance for Oregon as they will throw for a first down there, 35-yard line. Minute 10 to go. 2nd and 8. He will float one over the middle. That's going to be a crossing route for the first down and a big gain as we're under 60 seconds now. And he will throw for another first down there at the 22-yard line as it's 3rd and 3. Float one outside. Should have been picked, but it's 4th down. Here's your game on the line. It's a first. They keep it going. It's 38 seconds to go. 11-yard line. That's going to be a sack. They just got to hang on a little longer. 25 seconds. 3rd and 18. It's caught, but it is shy of the marker. They get 10 yards, but it's 4th and 8. Game on the line. Needing it to keep it alive. It's incomplete. Oregon goes down, and that is massive. Oregon's chances of winning this video have taken a hit as we jump to Alabama. There is 5 minutes to go in Alabama's game. It's a 1-point game, but with that 3rd down failure, they give it to NC State with 4 minutes to go, up by 1. They get the stop. Alabama with the football back after the 3 and out. They're getting brought down. 3rd and 20, and the offense needs to just get 3 points on the board. He'll step up. He'll run for it. He's going to slide down. 4th and 7. They're going to punt it and trust their defense one more time, and that's a good decision potentially because it got stopped for a 5-yard loss. Now we're on to 3rd and 9. He's going to throw for the first down and a big gain, and it's going to be one more first down to end Alabama, and they'll not get it. But Alabama's just got 20 seconds and no timeouts, and he's getting sacked. Hurry it back to the line. 5 seconds to go. Chucking it deep from his own end zone. It's going to be incomplete, and Alabama loses by 1. And then in the next game, Miami also loses 24-0. Bad blowout there. But man, we go to LSU, who I guess if you're one of those other teams in the mix, you're begging North Dakota State to win this game. You are on your hands and knees begging them to win because you can't let LSU get even further. You can't let LSU make another national championship. It's a read option. North Dakota State, they are the ones that just really the hope lies in them to pull this one off as they will get it to first. They go from the 3. Now with the 2. Handoff for the lead. He's going to get stopped in the backfield. 3rd down and goal. For the lead again, throwing open, touchdown, and North Dakota State's got the lead, 28-24, under 5 to play. They'll throw underneath. That's caught. Tight end's got it for a catch and run, 10 yards on the play. Now we jump to 3rd and 11, where they chuck it deep. He's got him in. He's got a step, and he's got a lot more than a step. He's got a touchdown from 77 yards. North Dakota State need to try again. That ball's over his head, and there's a flag, so it doesn't even seem like it matters. Ineligible man downfield, and that's going to back them up. How about 3rd and 13 now? They had to dig themselves out of a little bit of a hole, and they are going to get a decent game there. It's going to set up 4th down and 6 going for it. This is massive, needing it. You're gonna get the first down. Good fight from the receiver at the 2-minute warning, keeping this thing alive. Play action. He'll scramble. He'll get through. He's got 10. He's got 15. And he's got more, and that's gonna slide down to 46. Now to 134 to go as they get it up the sidelines. Big play, and they are at the 23. Can they pull it off to keep everyone else's hopes alive potentially, as that's going to be a play inside the 10, down to the 6, minute to play, read option, he's got the touchdown! North Dakota State are on the verge of pulling off a big upset, as it could really help everybody else out to keep their hopes and dreams alive to win in this video. LSU fighting to lock things up potentially. Timeout used. 45 seconds to play as they will throw. Deep ball. It's got it! LSU touchdown with 40 seconds to play! And now down to 30 seconds. And North Dakota State's got the first down. They got 1 timeout left and they are going to burn it here. 12 seconds to go. 3rd down and 5. He's looking. He gets sacked. And that is going to potentially wrap this one up. I don't think they're going to get back in time. 3, 2, 1. LSU moves on. Hope is not done yet. We are still in the semifinals for LSU, where they have to take on Kentucky. But right now, LSU is up by 8. It is 5.5 to play, and they got the ball with the 8-point lead. If LSU goes and wins the national championship this season, it's over. You can't argue 2 less national championships being the winner of this video. If a team gets 3, it's just a guarantee, as LSU almost throws a pick there. 4th down and 2. This field goal, though, will make it a 2-score game, and it is through the uprights. And I think Kentucky's hopes of making themselves very popular amongst the other teams in this conference are slipping away, as they will get the first down here, and it will be 3 minutes to play from the 45-yard line. They will throw down the field. There you go, touchdown! And Kentucky pulls himself back in it. 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game is no good, but still 1-score game, 2:20 to play. LSU trying to lock up a national championship appearance, and it's incomplete. 3 and out. Kentucky, can they pull this one off as they check it down? That's a broken tackle and a first down. Okay, Kentucky, 38-yard line, 1:50 to go. They got another short play that turns into a catch and run first down, gain of 12 as they're 22 yards away. 1:16 to go. He's getting pressured. He breaks out of 1 sec, not 2. 17 yards to go on 3rd down. What do you got? A completion that's going to get it to 4th and 8. 60 seconds to play. 4th and 8 for the game. It's incomplete. And the national championship appearance for LSU is here. And they are taking on Penn State. I mean, a national championship appearance already counts for a lot. Touchdown, Penn State. But it's looking like Penn State's going to make sure that they can't win a 3rd, as LSU's struggling right now. They're down by 10, 4th and 10, and they'll throw an incomplete pass. Penn State is, I mean, they dominated Miami. And right now, they're taking care of business. A sack, though, is going to keep it at least in a 2-score game. Field goal try is good. So LSU 41-28, and their chances of locking up this video, it's just not done yet, man. 81-yard touchdown. LSU claws back in it, and now Penn State needs to do more, as it's a 6-point game, and they will run to 3rd and inches. So close, and the handoff, he's got it. First down and more, as he gets it to the 33-yard line. Drop in to throw. He'll swing it out, and he's going to get stopped. That's a loss of 4. Now a game-changing 3rd down for Penn State, needing it as they get the first down. LSU got to start using your timeouts now. 1 more first down, and it's all over, as that's going to be a first down, and LSU does not have any more hope left in them. 1 more for good measure. Running through a defender. Penn State wins the national championship, and LSU, I mean, they haven't 100% locked it up, I will say. If they won, they would have, but they still just have 2 national championships on the board, meaning going into our final season, the door is open for Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami to, if they win a national championship in the final year, to have a conversation, I guess, to be had here, as 2 national championships is going to be the bar, I guess, for I think, competing with LSU. I don't know if the other teams have done enough, the ones with one national championship have done enough to make up for the fact that they have a whole lot less national championship. Like, in order to make up for that, it takes a lot. LSU's not in the conference championship. It's Oregon and Alabama, so that's pretty big. One of those two teams is going to get a conference championship. We'll see which one it is as we will hop into this snowy game, 21-20 in our final conference championship. It's been a long road. It's been a long video, but we have one last season to get through as they are going to be at the 29-yard line. Alabama running for a first down. They're in field goal range to take the lead, but they want that touchdown and that two-point conversion to make it a full 7-point lead. 3rd down and 7 from the 15. They will throw, middle, caught, first down to the 4-yard line, and with 2 minutes to play, just about draw, is not going to get there. Loss of a yard. Now we're at the warning. This will be a handoff on 3rd and 5, and he's going to fight. He's stopped at the 1, and Alabama's going to go for the field goal. Can't blame them to take the lead. But man, they were so close. Oregon has the opportunity in this one now as they will run for a first down. 30 seconds to go as they will have another first down. How about 29 seconds from the 48? He's got him in! It's gonna be open and a touchdown for Oregon, and Alabama on the ropes now. 18 seconds to play as he will step up and try to run for it, and he'll get nowhere. They have to burn a timeout. It looks like 11 seconds. This is your game here as they'll throw deep middle. Caught! He's got it! Breaks a tackle, breaks another! And Alabama at the buzzer! Touchdown! Alabama has just pulled off that one in miraculous fashion to win the conference by 1 point. And what a finish in our final conference championship as they will head to the first round bye, and Alabama continues their hot streak to close out this video, and they have a chance to get that second national championship. I don't know right now if I'm betting on anyone. Alabama might be the team that can do this, as Syracuse, speaking of can they do this, Alabama is watching on, Oregon is watching on, these teams are watching on as Syracuse is maybe pulling off an upset here. If LSU gets knocked out in round 1 to Syracuse, that would go a long way. That would end LSU's chance at getting anything else, as Syracuse is going to tack on a field goal. And now it's 32-25, a full 7-point lead as LSU is going to have a catch for a first down, and they're fighting to midfield as there's just 4 minutes to play. He'll throw, middle, caught, and that's a big gain to the 20 inside, now at the 19. 3rd and 9. They run the football. He's not going to get the marker, but he will set up 4th down and 4. 3 minutes to go. Rolling. There's pressure. He throws it on the run. It's caught. LSU keeps it going and ties the game with a touchdown. Syracuse, you got a little bit more in you to help one of these other teams out as they will throw to a first down. Can they get into field goal range? Avoid overtime against this LSU team as they will get another first down to the 45. 1:37 to go. They have all their timeouts. Time is not an issue. It's going to just be a matter of if they can get there, and they are close now. 33-yard line. Timeouts are being used, and the first down run for Syracuse is going to set them up, and they can go and kick a field goal, and it's going to be a really short one as the time runs out. 2-1. Kick is good, and LSU goes out in round 1. Oregon and Alabama are celebrating as they get a chance in this one to, if they get a second national championship, put themselves in the conversation. Oregon, though, is in some trouble against North Carolina. It's 21, it's 17, 3:20 to go, but a wide open man for Oregon is going to get it inside the 30-yard line. 2 minutes to play. Drop it to throw it. Is going to go underneath. First down as they have taken their time on this drive, but it's gotten them all the way to the 12-yard line, so it doesn't matter as long as they put it in the end zone, and it's looking like they will. Touchdown, Oregon. Now can UNC play spoiler with 1:16 to go, and they're going to throw an incomplete pass 34th down as they will throw, and it'll be outside. It's going to be incomplete. Not over, though, if they get the stop here, as Oregon will get stopped. They'll force a field goal, but now the situation's a lot more scary. Under a minute, no timeouts, down by 6. It still is possible, though. We've seen crazier things happen specifically to Oregon literally this season, but it's 3rd and 20. They need to go 92 yards, and it's incomplete. 4th down and 20. Oregon for the playoff victory. Will throw. It's incomplete. Oregon moves on. And we will head to them versus Illinois as it's 35-28, and Illinois is on top of Oregon, who is in a little bit of trouble because every last play of this video is so crucial for them as they need to at least go to a national championship. Them or Alabama, they need to at least get there as they will throw, and they got a lot of time in the pocket, and they will eventually tuck and run. They'll eventually get the first down, and that works out for them as there's 3:30 to go. Oregon's taking their time on these drives in both their games, but they'll float one to the end zone. It's intercepted. You threw that in like triple coverage. And could that be their dagger to get them out of this video as Oregon's going to allow them to get first down? Illinois at 3rd and 7 is going to get stopped. Oregon will get another try at it, but they have no timeouts of 1:30 to go, and they will get the first down to the 45-yard line. 1:15 now as it's 3rd and 10. He's scrambling. He's throwing on the run. It's caught. He got the first down to the opponent 45. 60 seconds to go. Catch, and he turns it upfield for a first down to the 34-yard line. 37 seconds to play. He's going to go underneath again as they're giving it to him as long as they don't get the first down, but it's 4th down and 3. Game on the line as he's got it knocked away. Oregon loses, and now it's up to Alabama to be the hero here. And when have you ever heard that before? Alabama the hero? I mean, maybe some of you guys are still rooting for LSU. I don't actually know at this point in the video who you're rooting for, as NIU got a pick here, but the reason I'm not flipping out is because it's a pass interference. They got that pick because they interfered. 31-26 is the score, though, and NIU with the opportunity to pull off an upset here and end their dreams as they are going to be throwing, and Alabama looking for a 2-score lead. Got it inside the 15-yard line. Time is running down. These games in this final season have been going down quickly as Alabama gets the touchdown to seal the deal, and we move on. Semifinals for Alabama. Illinois took out Oregon. Can Alabama take out Illinois to go to a national championship and make things really interesting here? As if they do, what a story we'll have to try to tell here in the final section of this video where we try to determine a winner as Alabama 2-point lead, and it's not going to extend the 2 scores. 4th down and 5. Field goal is good, and it will be 24-19. Illinois with the football back, and they got a wheel route wide open. The running back is going to run it ahead for 23 yards. 3rd down and 7 as we jump ahead. Draw play gets blown up in the backfield. That's going to mean a 4th down try as they will go for it. 2-minute warning is approaching, and they'll float one middle, caught for the first down. And Illinois with just under a minute and a half now. They're taking their time on this drive. 3rd down conversions, and now another 4th down conversion try. 4th and 4, keeping it alive with a big play. They hang on. 42 seconds to go. 3rd and 2. End zone knocked away. Another 4th down try, and they'll run it. And they gave it to him. I don't know about that one. There's 10 seconds to go. He breaks out of a sack, throws it away. There's 5 seconds to go in the game. He's going to roll left for the game. He's going. He's got the touchdown. And Illinois on a questionable call at the end. I don't think he got that first down. They didn't review it, and they get the buzzer-beating touchdown. So Alabama wins it on the game winner at time expiring, and they lose it as time expires. And that, after my voice is absolutely cooked at this point, is going to put a wraps onto this one. And I did something a little bit different for the final section because it being the final one with these 20 teams, I decided to not just put them into tiers. I also just individually ranked them from 20 to 1 on who was the best, who was the worst, and we'll determine who the ultimate winner of the entirety of college football 25 is. So many videos have culminated into these final results. We get to start off with our bottom tier, and there was a clear last place team. Number 20 was Arizona. 45 wins. They were the only like downright atrocious, unbearably awful, horrendous team. I mean, they were one of the weakest winners that we did have in our previous videos. They were one of the few teams that managed to win their region without winning a national championship. So, I mean, not to say I'm not shocked, but Arizona was a pretty unexpected winner, and they aren't a team that I typically see do amazingly in Sims, but you know, credit to them for making it this far. Number 19, putting them, maybe at a tier that they don't deserve to be this bottom tier, but I do think they were worse than the teams ahead of them. They weren't as bad as Arizona, but at 19, like I said, Fresno State, they were one of the wild card teams, and they didn't really do a whole lot. But as you can see, I mean, they had among the worst. These are about as bad as you'll see the stats, and I mean, for the recruiting and for some of the draft stuff, it's still not that bad. Like, every team had at least a competent floor when it came to acquiring talent and putting talent to the NFL. Tier 6 had us at teams that just didn't really have much of an impact. These were all teams that were in the 60 to 70 win range. Charlotte was an odd one. They went, and I put them at 18th. They do have a playoff victory, but they won a playoff game in year 1. And then they just put up a couple of stinker recruiting classes in a row, and they just never recovered. Like, they had the worst average recruiting class, and 78th isn't awful, but I mean, that's the worst in this conference. And like I said, like, a couple of bad things go against you, and it can really destroy you. And they had like 2 classes in a row where it was like outside the top 100, while everyone else was like top half in the country. It just buried them. Then URI didn't make a playoff appearance, didn't really do much, but they weren't offensively bad. You know, middle of the pack recruiting, some prospects, some stuff happened, 2 bowl wins. I mean, there were a lot of teams that just didn't get to pop up into bowl games. Villanova had the 1 playoff appearance that they almost won, but, you know, number 16, not really doing a whole lot. Houston Christian, oddly enough, never made a bowl game, but they made a playoff appearance and won a playoff game, and they also put up a conference championship appearance. So that's kind of what put them ahead of these other 3 teams, is they had a conference championship appearance and they had the playoff win, whereas Charlotte just had the playoff win and not really much else and had the worst recruiting. So brings us to tier 5, and these are the teams that they existed. I think that's the best way to describe them. Number 14 and number 13, Abilene Christian was one of the wild card teams, one of the teams that I kind of locked in. They were really good for their Texas video, but in this video, no playoff appearances, 3-1 in bowl games, no conference championships. But I mean, both these teams, basically identical wins, basically identical recruiting when it came to 5 stars. USC did get a playoff victory. They also did suffer one of the more bad playoff losses, as they lost to Ohio in a playoff game. And, you know, look at the recruiting. I mean, 26th and 20th was the average, and these are bottom half teams. Like, we'll get into some of the recruiting averages, but like, these teams are going crazy when it came to recruiting. Like, I think I did do a good job of giving every opportunity for any one of these teams to succeed. Like, they had chances. If you didn't succeed, that's on you. You had the chance to succeed. So then we get to about the midway point, 12, 11, 10. These are the teams that were 500 or better, but just didn't do much of anything in the playoffs. Tennessee started off pretty well, got into the playoffs, got into a conference championship. They did their thing, and then not really much else. This was another team that had more playoff appearances than bowl appearances, and an exact 93 and 93 record on the dot. But I mean, 12 of the 20 teams were 500 or better, so majority of them went over 500. They were a little bit lower. 41st in recruiting is a little bit lower compared to 18th for Clemson, 20th for James Madison. I mean, James Madison, 4 playoff appearances. Like I said, they were a team that definitely had their chances. 4 playoff appearances, that's on par with some other teams that you really have to capitalize, but you only got 1 playoff victory. And I mean, for how hard it is to make bowl games with some of these teams, I mean, Tennessee, like I said, 93 and 93, that's an exact 500 record, and they made 1 other bowl game, whereas Clemson, they made 8, won 5 of them, just not really doing much else in terms of the conference. They were just perennially like a 7-8 win team. James Madison, though, 119 in the wins, and just not really much else, though. Just a single conference championship, a single playoff victory, so couldn't really put them in a higher tier. Getting to the top half, though, this is where we get some heavy hitters out here, as number 9 is going to be UTSA, as they made 5 playoff appearances. Maybe didn't feel like it always, but yeah, 5 playoff appearances, 132 overall wins, 1 conference championship appearance that they lost, but overall, 19th average recruiting class, had 3 playoff victories, 4 regular bowl victories, and were overall a pretty good team. And that being the number 9 team is pretty impressive. Number 8, we go at Michigan. Less wins than everybody else in this grouping, but they do have the benefit of having made a national championship despite not having much else in terms of playoff success. But making a national championship counts for something. Winning a conference championship counts for something. And also, 8th average recruiting class. And yes, 8th average recruiting class wasn't the best. And having 240, and then, you know, in North Dakota State's case, 290 4-star plus recruits isn't the best. Now, moving to North Dakota State at 7, them and Minnesota were pretty frustrating because they were on the brink of success a number of times, 5 playoff appearances, but North Dakota State was not able to really sustain overall success. They had, you know, one run where they made the, you know, Final 4, but weren't able to do a whole lot else, and 0-3 in conference championships, and of course right next to them being Minnesota, as North Dakota State and Minnesota in their video were just neck and neck the entire time, and of course in this video they turned out to be neck and neck. Now North Dakota State, I will say, best wildcard team that we had, one of the only wildcard teams of the 4, actually the only one, since there were only 4, to come out here and actually show out a little bit. But Minnesota, 136 wins, so most of this grouping, and even though the recruiting was, you know, not as good as North Dakota State or Michigan, they made 4 conference championships and 6 playoff games. Like, they knew how to get themselves into position. They knew how to get themselves there. They just couldn't win once they got there. But to appear that many times in the playoffs and in the conference championship, I do think is impressive with how tough the schedules are every single season, to consistently be in the mix more than other teams, and to have won the conference, and to have won a couple of playoff games, and to have 2 Heisman winners as well. Pretty impressive. So I give Minnesota the nod for number 6, which moves us into the top 5. So the top 5 has all national champions. These 4 teams won the national title. We'll go at number 5, Alabama. Even though they got really hot at the end, it was just not enough the rest of the way through to get them there, because, I mean, 5 playoff wins is decisively last amongst these teams, but recruiting went pretty well for them. 2-0 in conference championships, pretty in line with everybody else. 22 All-Americans, averaged the 9th recruiting class. But then we go to Ohio State at number 4, which Ohio State's a weird one. They were so good, and they had that miracle run, the walk-off touchdown, national championship, then another national championship appearance, and then the final, like, third of the video, they were just non-existent. But because they made the playoffs 5 times, they showed out. I mean, 11 playoff victories. They, like, whenever they hit the playoffs, they were doing stuff. They were winning 2-3 games every single time. They were getting to the semifinals. They were getting to the championship. And then they just had a period where they just didn't do anything. Then we go to Miami, which I gave them the nod over Ohio State and Alabama, not just because of, like, the 10 wins, but the recruiting is ridiculous for Miami. 334 4-star plus prospects in the averaged number 6 recruiting class, all of the best. When it came to talent, Miami was the best. Most 4 5 stars, most All-Americans, most highest average draft class, and though they didn't get the most overall draft picks, they had the most first-round draft picks with 22 first-round draft picks. So when it came to talent, Miami was there. They also had the 2 conference championships. They also won a national championship. They also had 7 playoff victories, 5 playoff appearances, and, you know, all these teams, like Alabama, 5 playoff appearances, Ohio State, 5 playoff appearances, Miami, 5 playoff appearances, all of them win a national championship, all of them win a Heisman Trophy, which puts us pretty decisively at Oregon for number 2 with their 10 playoff appearances, 9 playoff victories, a national championship, a Heisman winner, 165 wins, which tied for number 1, but I give them both the green there. We'll get to number 1, as their recruiting class wasn't as good as Alabama or Miami, but I think Oregon, and if I were betting on winners, I would have bet Oregon to win. They are basically like the algorithm. I've called them like the final boss of this game because they are so difficult to beat sometimes, but they came up short. They came in number 2 because our number 1 team, your winner of college football 25, the king of kings, the king of the world, the king of the U.S., the king of everything, I guess. I don't know. We need maybe the king of kings, a little Triple H energy there. Maybe put that as the label. I don't know. We need to come up with a name for these guys. But LSU gets the overall victory. They were very impressive in their Louisiana video because they went out and were one of the few teams to win 2 national championships. Then they come over here in the Conference of Champions and win 2 more national championships. They went to 4 national championships, 165 wins, tied Oregon for the most. And while they didn't have the best recruiting, they still were up there. 13th average is, pretty up there. And then the 4 and 5 stars are pretty good. They had the most overall draft picks. They didn't have as many first rounders as Miami or Alabama, but the most players in total drafted, 96 players drafted, 20 All-Americans, 3 conference championships, which no other team could say. So you got the most wins tied. You got the most conference championships. They tied Oregon for the most playoff appearances, but 14 playoff wins, the most. 2 national championships, the only team to do that. LSU, I don't think it can be argued, is the winner. Part of me was hoping I didn't have to, crown a winner that was controversial, but I think this one's pretty straightforward. I think LSU won this one, meaning LSU's the champions of college football 25, and you guys can let me know what you thought of the video, because this one, like I said, was longer, but it was also faster paced because I had a lot to get through, so I just tried to, get through things quicker. If you like the pacing of videos like this, then you guys can let me know. And just in general, I mean, this was a series that I didn't expect to really go crazy. I posted the first video of it, and it kind of just, hit the right audience, hit the right algorithm, hit whatever. People liked it, and I just kind of rode with it. So if you guys want to see this for College Football 26, I will do it, and maybe do it a little bit better because I'll have a little bit more time to prepare and not just kind of go on the fly. This past year was me just kind of throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks and rolling with it. But maybe we do this again for next game, and maybe it'll be better the next time around. But you guys can let me know what you want to see going forward, because we're at kind of a point where college football and the NFL and all this stuff, football has kind of ended its cycle. We're kind of waiting for the new game, and we've kind of done everything we want to do in this game. So we'll see what we get to. I have some ideas for content I want to do until the new game comes out, but I think that this was like the last big project I wanted to do for this game, because I feel like I've done, everything I wanted to do. And I hope you guys all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really excited for what the next college football game has coming, because I continue to plan on making videos on the game, continue making videos on college football 25, 26, 27, not on those games, on other things. I plan on doing a whole lot of stuff, so you guys can let me know what else you want to see, and any support is much appreciated. So I will see you guys all in the next one.